G'day, guys. Welcome back to episode 6 of the Tide Talks podcast with myself, Aaron Blake. And today, guys, we have a guest, a very special guest, a very handsome guest, a guest that we spent a lot of time on the water with, a guest that we've spent some time off the water with at Gin Pub.
4671, let's go.
Mr. Jake Fairweather from Barra Empowerment Barra Sports Fishing.
That's the one.
G'day, mate.
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good, real good.
Thanks for coming down today into our humble abode and jumping on the podcast and having a bit of a chat with us.
Mind you, drove, 4.5 hours?
Just 4 hours
to
15,
this?
mate. Just a quick run down the highway. Yeah, pleasure's all mine.
Was traffic good this morning?
Traffic was fantastic.
That's good.
A couple of cars getting around, but no surprise.
I think he rocked up expecting to meet Joe Rogan here.
Well, he kind of did.
I did.
Richo Rogan.
We got Schmo Rogan.
We just figured out before we hit live too that Richo's a liar.
We got Rogan Josh. Why?
No, I got a 116 banner. You didn't.
Mate, that's the truth. That
It's
is
not.
the truth. A bit
I
of
need to see a
jealousy on the
picture.
left here, but
Thanks, Jake. Thank you very much. Finally, someone has my back.
got to stick up for the boss man. Eh?
Thank you very much.
I
mate.
just need you to both know that I got a big wingspan. I'll punch us both across the room.
All right, so fight or flight, is it? Okay?
Exactly, yeah.
Can't catch
Fight
fish, so he has to
every time.
fight everyone. Okay, we see how it is. We're getting distracted here. But no, Jake, how you been, mate?
I'm doing well. Doing
It
real well.
looks-
Super busy. Monduran's
Yes.
fishing really, really well at the moment. So plenty of charters, plenty of fish caught, and yeah, really enjoying it.
Because honestly, I see your content literally pop up every day, every single day. Like your stories, your
Yep.
reels, and everything like that. And it doesn't really matter what time of year it seems to be, but ever since like mid last year to now, every week, every day, it's been big fish. I think I just seen there was like a meter 20 something that was caught on one of your charters.
Yeah, a metre 28. So got a bunch of big fish over the last 6 weeks. Couple of 124s, 122, 121, and just the other night got a monster metre 28, which would have been around that 32 to 35 kgs. And just a couple of nights before that, I had a 63-year-old lady
I've seen
on the
this.
spin rod.
Yeah.
And we got a metre 24, and it was my most memorable chart.
Yeah,
It was unbelievable because usually clients struggle to sort of cast 15 to 20 meters, and it was no different with this chick. And she cast it out, came down the fish, it ate straight away, and I turned the torch on. She's fighting it on the spin gear. There's trees everywhere, and I'm thinking, geez, what's she doing with this thing? She's stuffing around. Let's get this thing in the boat. You know what I mean?
Little do you know.
Yeah, 5 minutes into the fight, I see it pop up next to the boat, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, look at the size. Look at the size of it. And I just sort of jumped on it with the net, got it in the boat, and I turned around to her. I said, get ready to see the biggest fish of your life. We got it in the boat, metre 24.
That's
she held it
ridiculous.
up, and
How did she pick that
Yeah,
up?
honestly.
man,
Look,
I had
Equal rights and all, but I don't know if I could pick up a 124.
That's a big animal.
Oh, mate, it was huge. And I probably had like a fella who was in his late 40s who couldn't pick up a metre 22 a couple of weeks before that. And we sort of shuffled this big fish into her. She held it up for 15 seconds and released it, and we got a couple of photos. So it was
That's so good, man.
super
Honestly,
sick.
man, that is it's
Sacrifice, mate, at all costs.
Yo, Callum's
Callum's
in
in here. Good to see you on
just
Twitch.
followed us now.
Yeah, thanks,
4
Callum.
months into
I
our
appreciate
venture.
it, Callum.
Okay.
That's really good. Nice of you. But yeah, it's so crazy. I remember like myself going up to the dam, and I was just like, there's a lot of big fish up there, right? And it is genuinely mind-blowing the amount of large fish.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I remember like I cracked my first meter there, and then you're talking about like every charter you go on. And I know you don't like guaranteeing fish, but what's sort of the average size of fish that you see on your charters?
Over the last 6 weeks, since the start of May, I've put 145 barra on the boat, just on charters, and 130 of those been over a metre. The average, the average at the moment, along with Mondy Man, who's my really good mate as well. He's absolutely killing it as well. We're sort of averaging 5 metre fish per charter, and that average size is anywhere from like 108 to 112, and it's just incredible because you sort of get down to the boat ramp, the clients are super pumped up, they're dreaming of a meatery, and as soon as I can see they can cast that 20 metres, I know there's a good chance of getting a bunch of fish, and you sort of train them up in the day, get their sort of see where their capabilities are, and then just sort of run the charter to suit their abilities, I suppose.
That's cool that you tailor made the experience for whoever you get on board, because that's the thing. I mean, being on, that would be the most stressful thing I would imagine running a charter business is, you know, you don't know who your clients are. So you get them on. Do you sort of like go, you get them on the boat, and you go, yep, sweet, and you just drive in the basin, and you're like, hey, just get a couple of practice casts around here, you know?
Not really. Like I've changed a lot over the last sort of 14 months on how I do charters. Like when I first started, I used to overthink everything, and I would stress out so much. I'd look at the map and I'd be like, where's the wind going? Where are the fish going to be? And I'd go to a location, the fish weren't there, and I'd go somewhere else, and I'd you know, you really want to make sure the clients can catch fish. And, you know, sort of fast forward 6 months after that, I've slowed everything right down and, you know, just sort of, you know, back the process. And, you know, I just go, all right, I'm going to fish South Arm, and I'll go down South Arm, and I'm confident I can find the fish and, you know, and all the rest of it. But
that's awesome, man. And that's cool. Now, a very serious question is, as a Blake, the arsiest fisherman you've ever had on your boat?
Definitely not.
Yeah, no.
Nah, definitely not.
In my eyes, I've never seen someone first cast catch fish like this man over
He
here.
amplifies it, but I'm sure there's
You would be surprised, but between myself and Sam, the amount of meter fish landed first cast to the point of you want to sort of show them, if you're using jerk baits, you want to show them how to twitch prior to seeing a fish, or how to roll a plastic or whatever it is. But a lot of the times you'll pull up to the spot, drop the pole, oh crap, there's a fish, quickly get on the rod, they cast quick, come down, bang. And, you know, a lot of the time,
what I mean. It's not
happens
us.
a lot.
It's not us. You're essentially going as a cast, 20 meters that way.
Yeah.
And I've done that.
I did that too.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You did do that. You did do that.
A lot. I know.
Some people are better than others.
Yeah, Ozcript, thank you for this. Thank you for subscribing to the channel.
Appreciate it.
What's the question, punks? But yeah, like, it is true. Like as I said, it's not just a flip.
That's what's cool about your style of charter. Like I've honestly, you're the only charter I've ever been on. I've been on
a deep sea charter.
I've been, and it's terrible. Like they take you some foul ground and you catch
some
red rock cod,
tragged you,
like terrible. But like that's the difference between your type of charter compared to, like, say, you get a Gold Coast charter and they take you up the river and they're like, fish this bank and you like,
what's going on, Spongy? Sorry, just one of me mates there.
But like, you get on the charter with like you got a dedicated seat.
Yep.
That sits next to your customer.
Oh, mate, you can't talk about the seat.
I can't.
No, that's top secret.
That's straps.
I only hit the seat under the cover of darkness, mate.
But yeah, it's just a way more like I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain
personal experience.
Yeah, way more personal experience. And it's like everything you do on that charter has like a purpose. You're not just like blind casting into nothingness.
Definitely
not. And, I feel like that's what you would do on a normal charter, say, go catch brim. And, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're getting your money's worth. It's like,
And you can sort of, take, like, you meet the client at the Ram, you have a pretty good idea of what sort of charter they want. If it's a boyfriend, girlfriend sort of.
Just a casual.
Yeah, it's casual. They might have kids. It's all about the kids. Or, it might be two guys. They want to go out and catch 10 fish. Or, others
two
say.
Two guys, one barrel.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And or other guys, they just want to, learn, a bit more about the technology. And if they catch a fish, it's a bonus. But
that's another question. So it's not just going out on a charter with you and catching fish. It's going on a charter, and if someone's got a Garmin unit or whatever, they can see how you learn how to use your.
Sorry to cut you off, but that's the biggest thing I got
not
out
like
of
you,
fishing.
Azza.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. But that's the biggest thing I got out of fishing with Jake was I didn't learn like so much how to catch the barra. It was more like getting the confidence in what live scope can do.
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
like huge. Like even like down to what I've been doing here with Freddy's. Yeah, it's a completely different scenario.
Yeah.
But I know and I'm confident that what I'm seeing is, what I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, it's a great piece of technology. A little controversial. Not everyone loves it, and we don't need to use it all year round, but it's really opened up winter fishing for us. It's gone from typically, before my time, winter charters, you might get a couple, each month. And now, we're sort of doing 20, 25 charters a month at Monduran, and without even having to work a Saturday, which is ridiculous.
So that's the thing. It's like, these people want to come have a charter, right? You want to give them the best experience possible. You want them to take home memories from fishing, right? And you're going to use whatever you can to get those guys a fish. And that's, you might be using net. No nets, but like live.
That live bait's been working well.
Yeah, live bait, fresh caddy fillets. No, but that's what I mean. Like live scope is, it's such a big thing in the industry now, and it's like for me, coming back into fishing since not having live scope, I guess side scan was around, you know what I mean, but then like coming back and then live scope so what's the word, prevalent. Yeah,
definitely.
and how good the technology is. I remember seeing when I went up with Azza for the first time and watching a fish react to your lure, which you can see, and that fish
Or not react.
yeah, or not, and like it dance around your lure and follow your lure. It is the most intense thing I've ever. It's addictive.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
addictive. Yeah,
And it's great for clients to, you know, it's really engaging for them. You know, when it's a little slow, you know, that this I'm put, you know, they can see it's not that there's no fish there. You know, you've casted a 100-meter fish today, and they're just playing. You know, it's just.
Well, that's what makes the donut better.
Yeah.
Like say you don't catch fish, at least you know that you weren't wasting your time.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
right. Like who knows, you know, what happened back in the day, you know, with the old side scan. Yeah, there's fish there, but maybe there wasn't. I don't know. But
There's 30 fish here, and there's literally 2 fish that are just
Yep.
circling your boat,
Yep.
just sussing you out.
Yeah, you can't.
But yeah, say what you want about livescope, like you'd be silly not to utilize.
but if
it.
it's your job, mate,
Well, not even that. It's just like
in general.
Are you here to catch fish, or like there's that old saying like catching fish is the boat? No, no, it's not.
But if I have to go home and tell
Yeah.
my missus I donut it again,
You got- you got boaties?
it's on the rocks.
Yeah. You got boaties and you got fishermen. Are you a boatie or are you a fisherman?
Which one are you?
Yeah, I'm a fisherman.
I'm a
so
boatie.
catching fish isn't a bonus for me. Catching fish is the goal.
Yeah.
Of course,
And that's
it is. Yeah,
why I
100%.
put $50 fuel on my boat, and I spend $100 in lures for that week, and you know what I mean. Like I'm there to catch fish. So if there's a bit of technology that allows me to catch fish,
Use it.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely, and you know, without it, you know, it's doable. But you know, just a
100%,
couple of
yeah.
weeks ago, I had an 86-year-old man, and you know, he got a meter fish on live scope, and you know, the amount of kids I've had under the age of 10 years old scoping up meter barra and holding them up, and you just see the joy, and
Yeah.
mate, they're
100%.
stoked. You know,
Yeah.
they're super happy, so that's cool.
So, quick question: oldest client, youngest client that's caught a meter fish
I think
by themselves.
Yes, a 7-year-old boy and an
a
86-year-old.
7-year-old cast.
Yeah, cast
caught,
on a jerk bait.
fought it,
Yeah, on
landed
a jerk bait, I think it was
7 years
around
old.
January or December.
pretty much still an embryo at that stage.
better angler than me.
and an 86-year-old. So that was super cool.
That's cool. Man. Yeah.
So those, and like you said, the lady who got the meter 20,000, whatever how big it was,
24.
Those they're like not just memories for them, but it's like it's a big thing. I would imagine for you as well, like having that to go home to at the end of the day, at the end of a charter, and know that you've just, you know, as crazy as my saying, you've like made such an impact on someone's life from one fish for something that you did.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's
pretty cool.
It's so cool, and like we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves, like to the fact
bet.
of, you know, for me personally, I know Sam's the same. You know, it sounds crazy, but a 3 or 4 fish charter for us is, at the moment, is, you know, it's not disappointing, but you want to see the clients catch as many as you can. The potential to catch 5, 10, 15 fish at the moment is really high.
Yeah.
And you know, but it's great fun. Like,
Yeah.
loving it.
Carl's just giving you a massive shout out there. Shout out to Jake and Sam, best guides ever. What they've taught me in the last 12 months, I couldn't have learned in 20 years on my own.
100%.
Cheers, Carl.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
feel the
I'm
same
about.
way.
That's why I have really good fisherman friends. Makes my life way easier.
Pick up the right guys and
Yeah, Carl's a good fella. He comes up a fair bit, does a few charters with Sam, and he's done one with me as well, and started making his own lures as well. So,
oh really? You make big wooden ones?
oh mate, he's into the big woodies, mate. You know,
Hey,
he's
Carl, you
come
want to
on
reach
board,
out to me
so-
on Instagram?
mate. The man can carve. I've seen it.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, he's done
I
really well.
considered it.
Carl,
And then-
appreciate that.
Then I just like, I can't do that.
A couple of shirts, eh? Oh, that's good
Good
to see.
on you. Naz has got his hand tats out. Do you have any sleeves, full sleeve tattoos?
Oh, I've got some tats.
He's
but
got
yeah,
tats. Okay,
yeah.
so guys, you don't have to have full sleeves. Okay, just
Yeah,
just
I
so you
got like
guys.
a halfie, you know. I just didn't want to flex too hard.
Yeah.
You
Sleeves
grew,
down.
as I said when I finished this one, I grew up.
Yeah, definitely.
People like Richo,
Listen to
haven't
this.
grown up yet.
As is making the tattoo rules.
Yeah.
If you have 2 sleeves, you haven't grown up.
Childish.
You're a child. All right.
And you probably can't fight.
This is where we're at.
Oh, man.
Now, mate, up there.
Did Punks have a question too? Did
No,
we get
it's,
to that?
yeah, no, it's just about your fuel.
Oh, man. I'll just like,
That's why I didn't
I'm
bother.
gonna start crashing out Discord.
Don't. We're not going to do that, okay? DJ has a question for you. Shoot, mate, shoot. Now, I've got a question for you.
Shoot.
Smallest fish on charter.
It probably was just the other day, really. I think it was only like 60 something.
Who's that?
Yeah. Yeah, 60 odd, I think 60, 65. But
Were you disgusted? Did that
I
make you
wasn't
crook?
guiding.
Did that make you
a couple of
terminally
years
ill?
ago.
Were you just like,
No, I got the photo. He was stoked. Yeah, no, we got it up. We got it pretty. We were fishing the shallows actually, non-live scoping.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
Tied to a tree, got a quick one, and then once the light faded, went out and
Caught 50 metres.
Yeah,
I
started
can
scoping up a couple.
look. I'll go back to small fish, but in the shallows. Like,
Yeah, well, the
out
cool
in the
thing-
deep, but
during the
keep it
day, and then when the
yourself.
sun goes down,
Yeah.
catch real
Oh, the
ones.
cool thing about Monduran is at the moment is the small fish is 85. So
So-
they're still lurking and
Yeah. I'll be
Now-
honest, bro. If I go out with you and I catch a 60 in 30 meters, I'm probably
wouldn't-
going to rip
I
up your contract.
I wouldn't let you cast at it.
That's true. That's true.
It's true, yeah.
Now, biggest fish.
On charter, yeah, meter 28, which was just a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Now, just recently, we're up at the fishing comp up there, the
Recently?
fishing classic,
3 months
Hummingbird Classic.
Hummingbird Classic,
Yep.
recently-ish.
Yeah, March,
and
mid-March.
that was like, a really well run comp.
It was an eye-opening
It was
experience.
very, very. But you actually won that comp.
Did, yeah.
And how was that for you? How was that? I mean, did you go out with a game plan, obviously, to win? You wanted to win, but was there a certain, the size of your fish when you look at them on a sounder, were you just targeting certain blobs?
Nothing like that at all. I just, I had my mate coming up, Bo, who,
Great guy.
yeah, Bo, absolute legend. Shout out, Bo, if you're listening. He's the one that actually got me into barra fishing. I was working down.
Bo was?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I was working down the Gold Coast at the time, and he works for a big commercial construction company, and we just started talking fish, and he's like, "Have you heard about this bloody dam up, called Monduran?" I said, "No, never heard of it, man." I went home, started just like everyone who gets into Monduran, just started watching all these YouTube videos. I'm like, this place is off its head, you know. And I literally, I think that Christmas I went up there for 2 weeks and struggled super hard. I think I only caught 2 fish.
You're lucky to get that.
Yeah, 2 fish in
It's
2
like
weeks.
misery.
But I was fully hooked. I actually went out on a charter with Rusty, and I hooked 3 fish, lost them all, but I'll never forget. I hooked a big meter in, and I was like, that was enough, and I never stopped going to Monduran since that.
So that's
day.
how you met Rusty, is it?
Yeah, that's how I met
Yeah.
Rusty, and then so back to the comp.
Yeah.
Me and Bo started fishing heaps, and leading up to the comp, we had the ABT just before it, so I had a sort of idea what was going on. And then the pre-fish with 50 boats around just sort of went around, seeing where everyone was fishing.
Yeah, we
Because we watched you. I was watching you dart around, and you kept coming back into the same
Yeah.
place. I'm like thinking, what is this guy doing? He's doing witchery.
Yeah, what are you up to here, mate?
Yeah, I was just sort of seeing where the boat pressure
We
was.
didn't move either, bud, did
We
we?
did not move a muscle.
That's why we did
Guess-
not win.
You tell me who saved on fuel that weekend. Tell me who the winner is.
Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, no, you're right. I heard you went back to the base and cooked bloody bacon
we
there.
did.
That was
romantic.
that was honestly peak experience. The you should have dropped by that. We had a really good wrap. It was a good wrap.
Bro, it
Great
was
wrap.
delicious.
I'll go back for that wrap. Getting colder. I'm ready for it. But yeah, so the game plan.
Yeah, so there was no game plan, just having a look where the boats were, where the pressure on the dam was. And then I think we drew boat number 40, 45 or whatever it was on day one. And I just went all the way up to the dam where a spot where I hadn't pre-fished, I hadn't fished in 2 weeks. And yeah, it worked out really well for us. I can't remember how many we caught. We didn't do anything crazy. I think we got 11, 12 or 13, I think, on night one.
Yeah.
And then went
that's
back
not
up
crazy.
there. Yeah, went back up there on day 2, got a fish first cast and got a couple of upgrades. And then a few teams were catching up to us, changed spots, got a fish straight away, another upgrade, luckily. And yeah, that was enough to win it.
To get
which
the
was
win.
cool. Yeah.
It was awesome, man.
For myself, man, that comp was very humbling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Extremely humbling.
But it was also awesome to see how well people who can actually fish really well and how good they are
Yeah.
and how what am I saying here? You know what I mean?
I know
It was
you- I know
good. It
you're
was
saying.
good to see
Gauge,
good anglers doing what they do.
It's-
and
it's
even good to
spooky,
see. It was even good to see Callum and Mobsy.
Yeah, they did.
Those
super
boys
well.
got 10th and
for a couple of
they-
Callum's Southsider,
yeah, and Mobsy a great fisherman.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
work
a
well.
super fun comp. It's
Yeah.
chilled and there's plenty of
Wasn't so chilled for us, my friend. I'll tell you
There's
that
plenty
much.
of fishing
Bro,
time.
we were the first boats in and we
Right.
had dinner.
By the second night, we weren't talking to each other.
That's funny, man. But you should do better. What next year?
I'd like
next
to.
year, right?
I'd like to think so,
Yeah,
but at
yeah,
the
sure.
same time, it wouldn't surprise me.
You got 24 hours to catch 5 fish, so it's super
Yeah,
doable for everyone.
it seems doable.
Even you guys.
I feel like we'd do better now.
I think so.
Spending time with you.
I think so.
At the
Just
same
as
time,
first cast everything.
there's a lot to learn about that.
Very, very.
It's different too. Like at that comp, man. Like I know you don't move your pole too much, but like the fish we found were just duck
Up and
diving,
down.
bro.
Up and down.
that's
Up
like
and down.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like if I'm scoping and I see the fish, dipping down in the water column or just changing direction, it's a perfect indication that the fish have heard you and they're
Yeah,
spooked. And
yeah.
I know a lot of people like to chase fish, live scoping, but I'll never chase them. Like
That's us, man. We start the outboard.
Yeah,
Just
just
we
keep-
start trying to follow this.
I get up on the plane and go, where are they going?
just banging around on the Minn Kota on a 10. But yeah, there's that many fish in the dam. You just got to keep going. And like even if I see a fish, if I'm cruising up a river or a bay and I sort of see a fish 40 meters to my left and the wind's in a weird direction, I won't even bother. Like I'll just keep going because I know I'm going to spook him.
Yeah, that was the most interesting thing about fishing with you, was seeing what fish you actually have a crack at, and what you just like
Don't bother.
I know, like we're making jokes about this, but me and Richard will see a slight sign of a fish, bro, and we're chasing that.
Yeah,
thing.
and it's like that on a lot of like if I've got charters with people who have a kind of an idea about.
They're like,
I'll be
"Oh,
driving.
man."
There's one. There's
Well,
one.
Richard's the same
I'll just
with
straight
you.
up ignore him and just keep going.
Richard's the same. Oh, you want to have another crack at that one? And you're like, no, just
Bro,
keep
I
going.
just want to I can see it.
I'll just listen to you. Like, if you're
Seeing
like,
it.
Yeah.
What are you reading, Scotty? I've got a question for Jake. Would you rather use one ply toilet paper, guaranteed to put your finger through it for 2 weeks, or run out of fuel in your boat on your own with no service?
Oh, it's a tough one. I'll have to come back to you.
He's got, look,
Need a good
Jake's,
10 to 15 minutes to process.
Jake's got rules about pooing on his boat.
Yeah,
and we're
Big
working
rules.
on it. All right?
Pick on
And
that.
we're
It's
drawing
never
up a
changing.
contract.
It will never change. There'll be no shitting on my boat.
There was a DJ question too. Question for
Oh, yeah.
Jake: who's more tolerable to fish with?
Or are we just as bad as each other?
I don't know.
One
When,
either
when,
side.
yeah, when Hazza fires up, it gets pretty out of control out there. Like I was blown away when I first met these boys. You know. Well, actually, I met you at the no, I can't.
At the comp?
Yeah,
At the comp.
the pre-fish on the massive comp. I'm like, these two guys pretty professional at the time.
Yeah, super.
Yeah, fast forward 4 weeks, they're farting, they're swearing, they're cracking jokes on me bone. I'm thinking these blokes
We're
are
human
out of
beings.
I have a process of like breaking someone down, trying to figure
control.
out.
Oh, mate, you broke me in. You broke me in good.
And we spoke about it. I was like, look, I'm gonna see how far I can push it here with Jake.
Yeah.
As has got a set list of jokes. He'll ease in, and
Yeah.
they'll get gnarlier as you go.
He fired up. He fired up.
You wait till the next.
Yeah, wait to the next one.
I got some material for you, big fella.
Ooh-wee.
Mate, I might bring these with me just to block out a bit of
It
sound.
won't
eh?
help because
So
I'll
the-
have this on the other end of it.
To answer your question, DJ, we're just as bad.
Yeah.
Awful.
Look, if you fish with me, even Richo's pretty much me. On a boat.
I'm actually a really professional angler,
No,
so
he's not. He's tapping his feet. He's trying to fix things. You're telling him like
trying to
cast over
change
there,
the
he's
world.
casting over here.
That's not by choice.
He tries his best.
Okay, well, let's wrap that up about me. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
But
Chris, how you doing, bro?
another big thing as well that I find really, really cool was about your charter is not just going out to catch barra, but when you get there, you get to go on a pretty cool boat too.
The boats.
It is, and if you're into if you're a rev head, you love your Falcons or anything like that, but you get down there and then you got this boat's a 300 on the back of it, a bass cat, and it's like, I don't know, man. For me, I was blown away by
It's the
how
Land
cool.
Cruiser of the dam.
Yeah, they go Lamborghini,
Yeah, you never get sick of driving it.
100k an hour on the
yeah,
water.
but you don't.
Yeah, I think it'll go a lot quicker than that.
Yeah.
Like I think
No, thank you, Mark.
we,
But it's-
we got
it's
up
so
to
cool.
130 the other day
Yuck.
safely with no boats around, and she still had a lot more to go. But
And there was no boat in the water. It was all just your motor.
yeah, just flying along. which is
You try and
pretty cool.
turn, nothing happens.
I'm not, I just typically cruise around like 60.
I'm
60 Ks.
happy with that.
Yeah.
The way you drive your boat, I'm happy with it. Like someone gives me anxiety about boats going fast.
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
not.
water.
I'm not into it, and especially
I've
with
seen
customers,
videos.
and there's plenty of trees and that, so you got to drive pretty
Oh,
safe.
that's
58, 65 k's an hour. is
You
pretty-
see those
pretty
bass
normal.
boats that crash, man, and
Nice.
it's like crashing and being in the gravitron at the same time.
Yeah,
Crashing's bad enough without the other. Like the
I don't mean to
gravitron
laugh
part.
at someone's misfortune.
Yeah,
but
I know.
that was a good
It's
analogy.
frightening, man.
As is analogies, another good.
If
one.
if I had to choose between crashing and a car, look, I don't want to do either.
yeah, look, can we just not do?
But look, if I had to choose between crashing in a car or crashing in a boat, I'm choosing car.
at same speed?
Yeah, same thing.
no, I'm going the boat.
I'm going boat.
You reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
I'd
Well, like-
skid across the water.
But what happens if you knock yourself out? You drown.
Well,
You knock yourself out in a car,
but-
wake up on a fire, someone pulls you out. Sweet.
Anyway, let's.
The boat is safe.
Yeah, my God, Jesus. But no, what I was saying was
some seatbelts
your boat's cool as hell.
Yeah,
and if you are into cool boats,
And
that's another
technology.
massive thing is to, jump on that boat and just, I was like looking around. I was like,
You know what his boat's like? It's like going to the movies. Pre-movie, and they got like all those screens
yeah.
like on the wall, and they make one picture. That's this guy's boat.
It's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good boat. Bass Cat Lynx. It's dream
What,
boat.
what motor's on the back of it?
It's a 300 V8 Mercury XS, Pro
ridiculous.
XS. So it was funny though because I was actually up in Darwin at before I bought the boat at the time with Rusty, an ex-guide, and he showed me it on Marketplace, and I rang the bloke up straight away. I said, "Mate, I'll give you $5,000. Don't sell it. I'll be home in a week." And got home in a week, bought the boat, and the rest is
Unreal.
history.
That's so good. And it's such a cool boat. Now, all your technology on it, Garmin?
Yeah, it's all Garmin. So
Any particular reason?
That's what I prefer, and the Garmin product's incredibly, it's really good. Super happy with it.
Yeah.
People run Lowrance and they're really good at Lowrance as well. So just sort of got to pick and choose what
Each to
suits
their
yourself,
own.
and there's a dollar value difference as well. But Garmin is what I like, and it suits me.
No, it's awesome, man. So you're getting the whole package. It's not just a Barra; it's getting an experience, and it's honestly, it's such a beautiful place as well.
It is, yeah. You're
You're going to hear animals. You're going to see stuff at night time. I'm going to bring this one up.
we're going there, are we? We're going there early.
Yeah,
too.
well, Az left, so I thought I could get in there, but he's back now. The Min lights, mate.
Yeah,
Big believer, and
I definitely am. Like little Spongy, who was on the chat before, like ages ago, before I had the bass cat, we were down South Arm fishing at night on our own, and we see these bloody lights buzzing us at like 1,000, 2,000 feet, and
Really?
we're wigging out. We're like, Jesus, what's going on here, And I haven't seen anything for since then, but you boys reckon you have. So
we were there. I was on the boat with you the other week.
I didn't see him.
You couldn't see him?
Nah,
You couldn't tell by his reaction
I just
every
think
time
he's
you
a-
brought it up.
You seen him, but I asked.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I didn't know what you were talking
Need
about.
some
But he's
glasses?
like, at the same time, he's trying to find his fish, and man.
Yeah, I'm
It's
out
like-
of LA.
It's like Callum. He's like,
What's
no, I didn't
that?
see him, but I'm staring at the sounder, which makes sense.
Have we found fish yet, Jake? Come on.
It's strange though. Like I think there's a bunch of people that have seen them, but who knows what they are. Like you get the odd Starlink. I remember seeing the
Yeah,
Starlink the first time. And I thought, bloody hell, what's
Hectic,
this?
eh?
Looked like a train going by. Like.
Yeah.
I went home, Googled it straight away, and I'm like, I've found something here. No, it's just bloody.
Starlink.
Yeah,
So-
it's just Starlink.
Pre-fishing.
Pre-fishing. Oh well, I've fished my whole life. Like my dad got me into fishing when I was super young, and used to take me up to the Midder River, which is in sort of the Victorian Alps sort of thing for freshwater rainbow and brown trout. We used to go up
nice.
there, pack swags, walk the river with a pair of waders on, just fish all
Nice.
day and all night. And
Picturesque.
that sort of got me into it. And then I fished, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Mornington Peninsula down in Victoria, Port Phillip Bay. We lived in Sereno for...
You get big elbow snappers, elbow slapping, big
Yeah,
whiting down there.
and
Beautiful.
like Dad used to take us out every single weekend, and I worked on a charter boat there for not long, but so that's all I used. Fishing and surfing was my life for
And there's also, you had another hobby.
Yeah, so like I said, fishing and surfing was my life. I moved up to Toowoomba. I think it was 2015 for a job. It was like a 2 year.
Toowoomba to Gingin.
Yeah, I know, bizarre, right? Yeah, I was in Noosa at the time. Moved to Toowoomba with.
Why'd you leave beautiful Noosa to go to
me and
Toowoomba? The big T.
One of my good mates, Lukey, we were both working for the same company, so we're like, let's go make some money up there. And the guy who was the leading hand at the time, he brought someone up from Victoria, which is Spongy, who was just on the chat before, and he was a skydiver. So he got us into skydiving, and at the time there was a crew of 15 of us, and we had 5 skydivers and 2 base jumpers, all working in the same crew. So we used to go to Toogoolawah, which was only 20 minutes.
I drove through there the other day.
Yeah, we used to go there every weekend religiously. Like rock up in high-vis gear on a Friday, quickly change out of our high-vis gear, throw on our parachutes, jump out of a plane, jump all Saturday, jump all Sunday.
How many jumps in a day?
Oh, we would sometimes do anywhere from 6 to 10.
So I have a question.
What?
Like, Is that an expensive like?
Oh yeah, like it's a lot more
Do you
expensive.
need your own airplane?
Like, cause like when I get on an airplane, it costs me a minimum of $1,000.
Yeah, it's a lot more
I mean,
expensive.
I'm not even
now.
jumping out of it.
Like I bought my parachute. I think it was like $4,500.
Yeah.
And then you got to do your AF course, so you know
Yeah.
you get your license, and then there's all stages of licensing as well. But yeah, once you have that, I think it was about like a blue ticket, which was if you jump from 14,000 feet was like $50, and if you wanted to jump from 5,000 feet, it was like $35. But so you just go in there and you just jump all day long with your mates, jumping out
So-
of
For
planes
$50.
For $50.
per jump.
Is that it?
Oh,
And then-
is that it?
yeah,
and Jetstar and Qantas, you guys
Yeah,
are
I know,
rip-offs.
Yeah, but you might do 10 jumps in a weekend, so $500 weekend. Plus,
Jesus, yeah, it's not
plus
cheap.
you were sort of partying at night and just
It's
So-
cheaper than what I thought it would
Yeah,
be.
for
I
sure.
feel like to get the plane off the ground, it's $300 each.
So that sort of thing as well.
there's 16 of us in the plane at a time.
Oh, okay, yep.
And there's all
Is-
different groups. Maybe 16 might jump out at once, or it might be 4 groups of
So you
whatever,
guys are just
4 groups of 3.
16 of the bravest human beings,
Yeah.
not
Oh,
scared of
actually-
heights.
After-
Bro, listen to me. Sorry to cut you off, but I went to the Nambour show.
Yeah.
I went on the Ferris wheel, but I panicked.
I've seen that post.
I literally panicked up
Yeah.
there. I had a panic
Don't
attack.
be scared, man.
Bro,
I can't
there's
stand
nothing to be
at
scared
the top of the stairs without like getting a little.
It's so scary, dude.
Well, the thing with skydiving is you don't have that fear of height. Like I would be more,
You'd be worried standing on
Yeah, I'd
top
be
of
worried
a-
standing on top of a skyscraper,
Yeah,
but jumping
yeah.
from 14,000 feet, it's a whole different feeling. And
Yeah, yeah.
after you pump out 20, 30, 50 or 100 jumps, it's so calming being up there. Your heart races a little bit when the door opens up and you're slapping up all the boys or the girls as well, like
Yeah,
get ready to jump out of the plane. But once you jump out, it's just like, man, it's super special, and it's something I miss. Like
The first one,
heaps.
was that terrifying? Your first jump?
Oh, I can't remember. I don't think I was that worried. I think because I had a bunch of friends that were jumping and everyone was geeing me up, and I'd been going there the weeks previous, seeing how everyone did it. But yeah, it was just, mate, it was just the best time of my life, and like it was, unbelievable. It's something I miss a lot, and just the camaraderie of it all.
Yeah, I
and
bet.
You're saying missing it a lot, don't do it anymore? Any particular reason why?
there's a big reason.
Okay.
So
if you want to talk about it.
in 2016, I had about 240 jumps at the time. I jumped out with my mate Spongy.
On your
Oh, so
sponge.
this is a guy.
Yes,
Oh,
Spongy was
really?
on the
That
jump.
day?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was Spongy, the guy who was our boss at the time, Mick, and there was another guy, I think it was Regan. There was 4 of us, and I don't remember most of the lead up to that year, and I don't remember like majority of the months, a couple of months after the jump, but we all jumped out of the plane. I slammed into a concrete basketball court. The doctors say, it's the same impact as going about 80 kilometres an hour, and I impacted into concrete.
So just talk me through it. So you've jumped.
Yeah, so I've
You're
jumped.
getting close to the ground.
Yeah, so I've jumped, I've come down, and
pulled the
it's
chute.
called performance landing. So you do like a sharp 90-degree turn,
They
you dive
do
into
that.
the ground at the last minute, you pull the brakes and glide along the ground. And I've obviously had visual fixation, performed the turn too low, came in, hit the ground, and I don't remember anything for probably 8 weeks. And at the time,
So how bad of an injury was this?
so I had 38 operations, over 40 injuries, and it nearly killed me, mate. I've got 60 screws in my face, 20 plates, lost all my jawbone, lost all my teeth, imploded my right ankle on impact, pretty much, destroyed my pelvis, shattered, and, major head injuries and brain bleeding. And I was super lucky. One of my best mates now, Shane Turner, was walking onto the plane to get ready to jump up himself. He seen the impact, ran over, and pretty much saved my life. He's a full-time ambo from Tweed.
Wow.
Oh, really?
And Spongy was like, shit, what do I do? So he grabbed my phone and actually called, our head boss at the time. He was down in Victoria, and was like, Jake's just gone in, like. So
He's gonna need to use some sick pay.
and he's like, mate, you need to find his parents.
Sorry, he's got none. No sick pay. Yeah.
My parents were in like remote Indonesia at the time, and so Andy, the boss, rang my parents. Was like, guys, like Jake's gone in. I don't know nothing. My mum's a nurse for 30 years. She's freaking out, you know, and she just had that sick mother feeling in her stomach. Was like, he's gonna die, And they rushed home. Came to the Royal Brizzy Women's Hospital. I think 48 hours later, I was in a coma and I was absolutely cooked.
How long were you in the coma? Was it
10 days in a coma, I think, in the end, in ICU. And Yeah, mate, it was...
'Cause-
For me, it wasn't too bad because I don't remember, but what I put my parents through was,
The crazy thing is, before we knew this story, you couldn't tell. Like, the reason it got brought up is I looked at your foot
There's a big scar.
and you got a big scar, and it just looks like someone's. That's what I said to him. I was like, "Did you just smash your foot to bits at work or something?"
I'll show you some photos after this. It looks...
Yeah, I bet.
It looks like I was in the most horrific car accident.
Yeah.
Unrecognisable. And the facial injuries, and the brain bleeding was the worst.
The worst, yeah.
So but the thing is, like you said, you
Can't
lost your
tell. Like,
jaw.
you can't tell.
Yeah, mate.
What is it? Is it?
It took years.
You got a
It
metal
took years
jaw?
of
Terminator?
operations and rebuilding. So a bit of synthetic bone, my hip bone, my skull bone, rebuild all my jaw, which took years because it's like surgery here, surgery here, surgery
Yeah.
here. At the time, I've got no teeth. I'm on a soft food diet for years. When I got out of hospital, I was 52 kilos.
Jesus, so that's my walk on around
Mate,
weight a couple of years ago.
Like 52 kilos,
Yeah.
just unrecognisable. And
So you don't even have like scars, like
I do, but they've done like a really good job.
And honestly, it's like it's a testament to the doctors as well, to for all and also your own personal will strength to get through willpower to get through an injury of like that horrific and come through at the other end. You know what I mean? Because that's just. And have you skydived? Did you skydive after that?
Yeah, I have. So like it took. The crazy thing is, I always said, I'm going to jump again, and it was the one thing that sort of. Motivated me to rebuild and do as well as I could. And exactly a year to the day, I was over in WA at the time, and I did my first jump back exactly a day from the injury. So as I was going up the plane, I was thinking 12 months ago, I was, nearly killed myself.
Coma.
And I ended up doing another like 75 jumps over there in WA. And then, as adult, life change, commitments, and I just couldn't afford to.
sponge road.
Yeah.
I reckon he's got broken legs, but he'll be okay.
My parents and sisters still curse Benny over that because they go, "Oh no, he's fine. Hey, he's just got a broken leg." They rock
broke
up.
his foot.
They rock up, and I'm in like pieces, which is pretty funny.
Mate, it's such a crazy story, and it's even crazy to hear that you went back and you jumped again, and all the like you said, you're on a soft food diet for however long, you've reconstructed everything, but at the end of the day, you came out of all that with a pretty good mindset, and to have that willpower to get back on a plane and be like, you know what, like I'm not going to let this beat me, and then you just jump out again 70 times. Like you just made the air your bitch, essentially.
I think that it made it easy for me because I didn't remember. And the doctors always said to me, one day you might remember. And even to this day today, I sit there in bed and I just try and think back. And it's crazy because I've had a couple of flashbacks and I hit Benny up and I said, when we were jumping out, man, did Mick go on his back and started sinking and I was on top of him? He's like, yeah, that happened. And I have this perfect bit. And the crazy thing was there was a bunch of boys who had cameras on their head on the jump. Benny's malfunctioned. Regan didn't turn his on. There was no footage of the accident, which typically there always is. And not remembering the jump made it's heaps easier to just jump straight back in.
That'd be the weirdest feeling. It's like this hectic thing happened, but like your brain is just like
I try and
control delete.
Try and think. Surely I'm going to remember one day, but maybe I will, or maybe I won't. So who knows?
Almost like hope you probably don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you're that type of guy to for stuff like that to affect you, but that'd probably.
Yeah, I don't think it'd affect me now. It's been, it's been a while, 9 years, whatever it's been. Yeah. But I just, it'd be cool to sort of
and now, mate,
have a few memories.
And now you get to go out on beautiful Lake Monduran, eat at the Gin Bakery.
Yeah,
and
good pie.
The second best pies in Australia.
First best pies in Australia.
and chase Barrett. And obviously, so after all these injuries and everything like that, you've shattered everything and everything's broken pretty much. Now, on a boat, 6, 7, 8 hours. How is that for you?
Yeah, like the back of my foot gets a bit sore, but like it's all good.
Yeah.
It's
you manage that.
I just forget about it. Like
because like even I get to a certain point, a few hours in staring at live scope.
Yeah,
I'm like I almost can't handle.
I've had a couple of crashes
and
on BMX, but I can't even get out of bed in the morning.
I didn't fall out of a plane either. No. I just woke up with arthritis in my spine.
Yeah, I'm the same. Just like a bit of arthritis, but I think you just get used to it. When you got an injury for so long, it just becomes normal. I wouldn't even know. It's
just push through it.
Yeah, that's it. So, and there's plenty of people with worse injuries. So you just got to keep motoring.
That's it, bro.
It's such a good,
especially at such a young age.
Yeah,
like I think that collapsed you at that point. Then
I was 23 at the time, so my body, did its best to recover. If it happened now,
well, that's the thing about copping injuries as a younger person.
Yeah, Definitely.
It's the same with most sports.
Hell
You
yeah,
can sort
Carl.
of bounce back
Yeah.
from injuries where as you get older, like
Yeah, no chance.
breathing's hard enough, which I've spoken about a few times.
That's true. No, thanks very much for sharing that story. I mean, it's
crazy.
it is absolutely
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's a good
Well,
story.
it's great that you're sitting next to us right now.
Yeah.
That's the great thing. You know what I mean?
Well, it's you know, it happened pretty quick when I was into the sport, but you know, ever since just being out of the sport, like myself and Benny have seen some of our best friends die. Like it's
Oh my God.
Yeah.
you know, over a lot, you do it long enough, whether it's skydiving or base jumping, like
You're
you know,
bound to.
you're not no, it's not bound to with skydiving, but you just see the casualties in the sport. And like we had our really good mate, Dougie, who had 20,000 jumps. He was 50 years old. He was the safest dude in the world. Lived with Benny at Redbank Plains, and we used to kick it every weekend. And he went off to work and just never came home. You know, and that rocked us. And you know, another fella, Chris Burns, who was the #1 wingsuiter in the world, pretty much. If you ever looked up wingsuiting on YouTube, you most likely would have seen Chris Burns, and he went in a couple of years ago too. And it's just like, you know, you just unfortunately it can happen to the best of them.
Wingsuit, is that where you jump off like
Like
this?
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
bat.
But are you doing that out of a plane or is that
No,
just
he's jumping
free
off.
jump?
He's jumping off mountains and flying
Yeah.
a foot to 2
Have you
foot.
done that?
You know, no.
You done base
And
jumping?
I was about to base jump right
Oh, yeah,
before my
that's right.
accident.
Yeah.
We lined up. There was a full moon coming up, and we were going to jump off this tower in Dolby. I think it was like 400-foot tower, and
What's the full moon got to do with?
just so we can see what's going
Light.
on.
Oh, okay.
And I really, if I didn't have the accident, I probably would have killed myself base jumping because I was just going gung ho and just sort of wasn't slowing down.
No fear.
No fear.
Yeah,
No fear.
And
Invincible.
Benny was a bit older than me at the time, and he was like, "Dude, you got to just ease up a little bit, man." Like, you know, and next thing, bang.
Holy dooly. Mate,
Bang's the most hectic thing you could have said then.
very, very inspiring story. That is 100% Thunder. I think that's probably the most intense story we've had on the potty at the moment. So
Absolutely.
that's.
I don't know, bro. My red belly black snake story. is
Did you
pretty
hear that story? Oh my god! Tell me
did.
it again.
It's funny because it was a while ago. Like when I was listening to that the other day, I was thinking because about 6 months ago I was fishing right next to Sam, and when we came in that afternoon, he's like, "Dude, there was a bloody red belly in me motor."
Yuck.
And he had 2 clients on board. And
Wait,
he had-
inside the
cow.
cowley?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. And he had to get this snake. He got the snake out and just, you know, slid it off. But, you know, had 2 clients on board with a bloody red belly.
Didn't that happen to Mobsy? No, Jack Jones, wasn't he fishing and he turned around, turned his torch, and there's a snake arced up on the back of his motor.
Yeah, mate, it's skits.
That's
Like,
right, in the dark.
I'm not about that at all.
Bro, shut up.
What are they doing? Can you get some snake guards on your boat for next time? we
I'll
come?
ask him
Thanks,
next time
mate.
I see him. I say, "Oi, what are you doing?"
They get straight in your bass boat so easy too.
Yes.
Nah, it's
Just far off the
snake proof,
ground.
man.
Oh,
Snake proof.
Perfect snake proof. Okay. Shout out to Bass Cat.
That was spooky, eh?
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, wow, God.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the story.
It's
It's
hectic, man.
such a crazy time, but yeah,
Now you
it's
just
all
fish.
part of the journey.
I think you picked the better sport.
I
in
reckon.
my opinion.
yeah.
Meter plus barra?
Does spongy still?
So but pretty, you know, as
Everyone
soon as
wraps it
I
up.
stopped jumping, Benny sort of stopped jumping
Yeah.
as well. We used to jump a lot, and you know, just life changes. And
Yeah.
you know, you get to that age where if you can't afford to be out of work
No.
for 3, 6, 12 months. And I was lucky at the time that I had my parents that, who, pretty much cared for me for 12 months to rebuild. Without them, I would have been.
Shout out to Jake's parents.
If without them, I would have been in all sorts of trouble. So I look back and it's like the most special 12 months of my life, just because I got to spend so much time with my parents and rebuild. And I look back and I'm like, what a cool journey that
You're a
was.
very humble dude, eh?
It's positive.
I've got a lot of respect for you, man. Like the way that your outlook on things, just listening to
I
you talk.
could just
it's-
picture how I'd be right now. I'd be I'd be like a 70-year-old
You're like,
man. With
hey,
kids
how's it?
on
How
his
you going?
grass.
Go, what, Doug?
Yeah.
I actually miss it because it was the most motivated and like focused I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I lost everything, and I can't surf anymore because of the accident, and that just killed me. So I was like,
Yeah.
I got super fit at the time, rebuild, and I'm like, once I recovered a bit, I'm like, I need to find another sport, and I got into golf, and I'm a bit like yourself. Once I get into saying I'm going gung ho, and I'm talking, I'm playing
the
golf
PGA
5
now.
days. I'm playing golf 5 days a week, and after playing for 2 years and realizing I was never going to make any money in this sport, and I was going to be a full-time hack, I thought, you know what, I'm going back to fishing, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, golf's one of those things that I feel like it's just you either have it or you just keep trying to have it.
I love it. Like me and Sam will play golf. Most days we're not fishing,
Yeah.
and we've got the Gin golf course. Shout out Gingy and Cole, of course, man. If you're looking for some horrible greens that go, the way you don't think they are, that's a good course to go practice on.
It's the guides of Lake Monduran, the real life of.
Yeah.
So you guys follow around. We go to the
Should start a
pub.
reality
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, it's a good
Snitty,
lifestyle.
play 9,
Bro,
catch a
the
meter back.
Snitties? Like,
Yeah,
can we just
good?
can we pay our respects to the
Go on,
Gin Snitty?
Yeah.
What is
Respect,
it? What's the hotel called?
Gin
Motel?
Gin
Oh, it's the one,
Is
it's
it
the one
just
on the
called the
left.
Gin?
It's on the IGA
It's
side.
the one on the left, and if
Right.
you're driving the other way, it's the one on the right.
People would disagree with me, but I swear to God, that is the best snitty
It was a good
with the chips.
Good chips.
Great chips.
Good gravy.
Look, yeah.
Look.
It's all right. You must have been hungry. It's,
I was
it's pretty
starving.
standard.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's a bit of chicken deep.
Pretty
fry with
standard,
some
like
chips.
the
I don't
gin
know.
gin
I don't know
pies.
if you've had-
Gin gin pies are standard.
I don't know if you've had a snitty from the Chatswood Hotel. It's not
No good.
No.
Not a fan, eh? Okay. I'll have to go investigate and come back
Look,
to you on that one.
Gin Gin Bakery, I can sit here and argue about that.
Mangrove Money, is there medicinal? Are you allowed to have anything medicinal on the charter?
Just good old laugh.
That's
That's what he's allowed.
that's it. That's it.
I think I don't look. I think I know what you're getting at. I don't think.
What I don't see, like,
Just
if I turn
you
my
got-
back,
wait on the boat ramp for a minute. But get there early. Just get there early, okay? And then you do what you.
I
gotta
bet
do.
it's probably better than a bunch of larrikins getting pissed on
and
your boat.
I've had a couple of them, mate. They're the craziest.
That'd be literally probably really funny. They're pretty
I
wild.
had a group of 3, and this guy called himself the Pirate. He had like 20 beers. There was 3 of them, and they were on.
Do they all have nicknames, or is it just?
I just
one?
remember. I just
Oh,
remember the
nighttime,
Pirate
daytime.
because this bloke dropped 2 of me rods in the water and cracked me screen.
Yeah, this is a 16-inch what?
Yeah.
What, Dave? 84 16s.
Yeah,
$7,500 screen.
That's okay though, Pirate.
Yeah, pirate. Yeah, look, it's funny.
You like those beers?
You're a funny guy.
Yeah, just loose, man. Like, and apart from, they're the only ones that have really carried on. Like, a lot of people will bring a few beers on the
Yeah,
boat,
yeah.
but once they're up the top with me, they, as they go pick up their can,
beer
I'm like,
gets
quick, go there, go there.
Yeah.
They just don't have time to
Yeah.
drink.
You
so
don't. You want to catch fish.
Yeah.
If you want to get hammered, just do it back at camp.
that's
Yeah,
it.
Let's go catch a fish. You're
Right,
there to
like you're
fish.
paying, you're paying good money to catch fish. Well, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, look, each their own. Look, everything's funner when you're drunk, but like,
Is it?
kinda.
Yeah, not
Act
when
like
you're
you've never drunk.
not when you're doing wayward cars, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's good. Just get it done.
I do that sober. Yes, you do. But that's okay.
Look, like I like what we did, just like a beer before we get into it.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
one beer,
It's good fun.
good vibes.
Dare
high
ice
fives.
coffee.
Yeah.
Another one.
What is it? Garlic turnover.
Garlic twists.
Garlic twist.
Oh, they were deadly.
They-
I don't recommend those.
No, I do.
Do you? Jesus.
I don't recommend for coming back on the boat with you after I've had one of those. Tell you what, oof,
Terrible.
Gee whiz, those things are spicy. Have you had any celebrities on your boat, mate? Any like big time people come on the boat?
Oh, not
Tom
really.
Cruise.
Tom
I've had an NRL player.
Well, that's pretty big considering. We'll get into that. So, what an player? Who was he?
A Rabbitohs player. I don't know if I can
next.
talk about it yet, but
Next.
yeah, maybe he wasn't supposed to be up there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we were,
We got Channel 9 and Channel 7
but that
watching
was
this. So.
that was ages ago. Anyway,
Yeah, I think it was about 7 and 9 months ago.
Years ago? I mean,
in the off-
months.
it was in the off season anyway. It was,
Yeah.
that's cool. That you did have someone in the off.
Yeah,
season.
I've had a couple, like I wouldn't say celebrities, but yeah,
You had me on the boat.
yeah, had you,
You
mate.
didn't drop me. What
Ex
about me?
Twitch, an ex Twitch superstar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ex-Twitch.
And had yourself, mate.
Yeah, look, that was lucky you.
Lucky you. Man, I feel sorry for this guy when me and Richard go up there, right?
But no, you meet such a variety of different people from all different backgrounds.
For sure.
And that's actually like one of the highlights for me. You get to chat with so many different people, like, from drought-driven farmers to these successful, rich as farmers. I've had like insurance brokers, high-end bloody what's it
they're all
called,
there?
city workers, and then you just get your
one
local
thing.
knockabouts, and it's really cool. So you get to sort of spin some shit with all
Yeah.
sorts of different people.
Yeah, learn a lot about people.
Yeah,
like
which which is really cool.
Sacrifice.
I'm an interesting person.
Ron.
Yeah, are we going there?
Not me.
I'm always there. I'm in a state of there at all times.
I can see. I can see as I look at this little twinkle in his eye.
Like,
it's
if
the
this is
analogy
my-
twinkle.
If this is my stream, you get all that.
Mate,
That's a
I think
package.
last week you were
Come
calling
back.
it your stream, so okay, give it to us.
Was I?
This is my potty.
Here we go. It's fair enough.
I take what I want, all right?
True that.
I get what I need.
What am I hearing right now? No, it's very it's cool. It's cool to hear some of the stories about the lake. Now, mate, any bycatch on your charters? I know we've spoken about
big shout out to the Mondi Caddy, mate.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
PB catfish.
PB Caddy, oh mate, big, like 750 probably.
Oh, 750
Yeah.
long.
Look,
Nice.
it's no secret, I've been known to scope up a caddy if the screen is clear.
Good viewing.
Yeah, fantastic viewing. Yeah, mate, there's nothing wrong with a good caddy, and you know, let me tell you, come the family fishing comp in October this year, the caddies will be fine.
The caddies will be on.
Plenty
won't
get
they?
caught. There's nothing wrong with chucking on a frozen a prawn or a pilly, mate, and just get it done.
Because you see people fishing off the bank there. Like you go to the boat ramp and there's people fishing off the bank, and you're like, my brother, like
My brother in Cross.
my brother and cross, jump on this dude's boat.
They get barra off the bank
Yeah,
there
yeah.
occasionally too. So
Well, I remember
Bass?
in
I've
spring.
never caught a bass.
So I have, yeah.
Not at Mondi
Me
anyway.
and Nix and my son.
Yeah.
But that was with Rusty.
Yeah,
He was a little weekend guide
Rusty's,
for us.
Rusty's bass charters.
Yeah, right. It
He'll
was
love
cool,
that one.
but like, if you said to me like, "Oh, you want to go spend an hour catching bass?" Yes, please.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
What,
even,
right
I
now,
wouldn't
on
even know where to
80
look for 'em.
Right now,
Get us some bass on 80 pound.
Right now?
on Woodies. Yep.
if we went up there
Yeah.
and there's meat or barra to be caught,
Yeah.
would you rather just go? chase them?
Absolutely.
I think it would be easier catching a
love
metre
catfish.
15 than
Yeah, it is.
than one bass on,
Yeah,
on a lure.
100%. I don't know why they were at this particular.
Probably wind, tide, and moon phase. I reckon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was cool, but they were
Maximum.
massive. They weren't like
Gibeus.
when I say bass, they were like 50 plus.
Yeah.
So footies.
Yeah.
So they're surviving with the barra.
Yeah. But yeah, catfish, bass, and monster barramundi.
Big barra. Yeah, maybe the bass's behaviour is a little bit different because
Seen
it's
someone-
dominated by barra,
Yeah,
but who knows?
probably, yeah.
Seen someone catching barra off the ramp with dead tilapia.
Yeah, I actually seen this exact same thing like a couple of months ago.
What's the whole tilapia?
I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that, but yeah, he was catching barra with.
Well, you
tilapia.
can't once they're out of the water.
You can't put it back.
You
eh?
can't put it
Yeah,
back
this
in the water.
this bloke was with his kids, and I thought I can't say nothing to
Let
him.
him do what he wants, all right?
Yell at him in
Get
front
off
of
his
his
back.
kids.
He's trying to be a good father figure.
Go, mate. Anyway,
I don't think anything has to worry in that dam about tilapia.
Nah.
They like the probably the biggest worry would be the barra choking on them. Because I know it's a thing in the Logan.
Yeah.
Like they choke.
Yeah,
on
I've seen barra spew up big caddies, like 350 mil caddies, which is psycho. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen them with a tilapia.
I wonder how they go with the spikes.
I don't think that's. I think it's
This
how-
thing came out whole, man, spikes and all ready to go.
Really?
It looked like it was about 12
Did you
hours
keep
old.
it? Take it home, put it in
Yeah,
live.
took it home, try to get it going
He
again.
must have swallowed it head first, done a little 360 no scope in the guts, spat it back out
Yeah,
head first.
just fell for a simple twitch, you know.
So what's
I dream of the twitch.
let's talk about Lake Monduran. What's the major food source for these fish in there? Like, let's get to the science of the dam. Like, what are these barra actively feeding on, and does that help you choose what to use to catch these fish?
Oh, not at all. I just, they feed on garfish, bony brim, and red claw typically, but we keep it like super simple, and we don't really we don't go out with 7 different rods with 7 different lures. We know what works each time of the year and the techniques to suit each season, each afternoon, day, morning, and nighttime, and that pattern has just stayed steady for us all year round, and we're super confident with colours and sizes now, and what months to twitch, what months to put that away.
Yeah.
And, there's so many techniques that suit the fish behaviour, and being on the dam every day is obviously a big bonus and helps us out a lot.
If we're allowed to talk about this, but I know you use jackals. Is that sort of your go-to sort of lures when you're out there during the day?
Yeah,
nighttime,
it depends.
115s
again, seasonal, and and size too. You got the 115, the 100, and now the new 79
flat shad.
Yeah, the old flat shad, the old flat pack. And then a variety of plastics, but obviously plastics aren't always going to suit clients.
Is that because they sink?
Yeah, and you really got to pinpoint your cast. That's why we really like jerk baiting or floating, slow sinking, or
because you can
suspending
stall
lures.
it there till the fish comes over to it.
If I can see a fish going right to left, I'll just tell them to bang it out at 10 o'clock, wait half a minute, come down, stop, come down on the head, and see what sort of reaction we can get from the fish. But yeah, we try and keep it super simple.
At the end of the day, they're a super reactive Is that the word?
Yeah.
They're a super reactive fish. So
They're aggressive, but they're not territorial. But,
yeah.
they're so heavily pressured now. This time last year would have been 2 out of 10 boats with live scope. Now it's 8 out of 10. And you can definitely, tell, the changes in fish behaviour. If you go into certain areas that are getting pumped, you move away from that area, you'll find you can get better reactions, I guess.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And
So
at the end of the day, they are barra, and they're going to choose whether they eat or not.
that's it. They're a fish.
Yeah.
Now, because like as I touched on earlier, when we were up there, they were like, what's it called, thermo climbing?
They're just diving down.
Up-
I don't know if that's what
whatever
they're
it's
doing.
called, but they're going up and down. Like, do you see different patterns in the fish through obviously different seasons and something like that? Do you change the way you chase the fish? Do you go into bays, or do you still fish in the deep water, or is that?
Yeah, again, like the thermal. That's
Not trying to give away all your stats here.
That's seasonal. So we'll pick lures to suit that when the fish are a little bit deeper, and use different methods to bring the fish up into the water column.
Yeah.
You don't always need to be pumping a lure right down on its nose. You can bring the fish up, and with fishing, the back of the bays or points, there's such a variety at Monduran from, big to get to the back of certain bays, it's a couple hundred meters, others it's 50 meters. So, you sort of got to understand what the wind's been doing, what the water temp is, and, and sort of, play
Just
it to
keeping
suit.
your eye on it the whole time, just to know where you're going to hit, or for the
Yeah,
week leading up to, or
If I've got a bay, it's a bay and it's 200 meter, it's a 200 meter long bay and it suits a southeast wind. If it's been blowing northeast and it changes for a southeast for a day or two, I'm not going to go to the back of that bay on a certain, it's going to take them a bit of time to get down there. And what's the water temp? If it's hot, they're not going to be right down the back of the bay. You might get some smaller fish, but the larger fish are going to be up around that thermal, trying to go up and down and be comfortable.
Because that's what I heard is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it can be too hot. Like the water can be too
definitely.
warm.
February is the hardest month, in my opinion, to catch Monduran barra in the shallows. But you can use techniques like frogging, and you can get the odd big one. But typically, a lot of the smaller fish are going to be holding up in the shallows. They can handle that hot weather.
Yeah.
Where the bigger fish, they want to be in that deeper water where they can just go up and down and be nice and comfortable.
And what do you think that temperature threshold is? Say
I think
above.
as soon as it gets above 30, 31, it's going to.
that's hot water.
Yeah, but it'll get up to bloody 33 plus, depending on what you're looking at. Like you sort of want their metabolism, it seems to start firing up once that water temp hits that 23 and it's on the rise, 23 to 27. They'll go from sort of being a bit funny and they'll just chew all
And
day.
that you'd say that's spring.
Yeah, springtime. Yeah, sort of that September.
And what's the water temp at now? Being winter.
Right now, when I was out the other afternoon, it was like 19.5 or 19.8 and dropping around that 19.4, 19.5, depending on what unit you're using. And there's probably a half a degree temperature difference between Hummingbird and Garmin and Lowrance, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. And would you say, because I've heard from a couple of people, they've never seen so many fish. Then right now, I don't know if they just started fishing winter, but they reckon the amount of barra they're seeing on the scope.
Yeah, I'm seeing no difference.
You're no difference?
No, I think they're always out and about.
Yeah.
But I guess winter makes it a little bit easier to find the barra. But I wouldn't say it's this
There's
time.
lots of barra in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's any there's any.
And you find in winters bringing out you have more shot at catching a large fish.
I think it's pretty similar to be fair. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Because I don't know if it's just
it's crazy.
I don't know if it's just I don't know, ignorance from me or something. I feel like I'm seeing more because I follow you quite a bit on social to see what you're doing, but I feel like I'm seeing more 120s.
Yeah,
At this point,
that is fair, I guess. I think that it's just a theory, but myself and Sam talk barra every single day. Trying to understand. And, fishing's built on different theories.
Yeah,
As with threadfin or jack, your theory might be different
Yeah.
from someone else, but it works. But we sort of think that these really large fish, those sort of 118 plus, 120 plus, I think they're just hanging. There's so much weed at Monduran at the moment. I think they're just sitting thick in the weed and doing their own thing. And this time of the year, it's going to be too cool in the shallows once nighttime comes. So they need to get out to that stable water.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Do they school up in winter like they do in the salt?
Oh, you'll definitely see better pairs of sort of your 6, 8, 10 fish occasionally in spring, where it's a bit rarer. Other times of the year, you see a lot of 2s and 3s.
Yeah. And I feel I don't know if you feel the same way, but every say school of barra that we have ever run into on live scope, say 4 or 5 fish.
Yep.
It's almost impossible to get them to eat.
Yeah, you want to go. We call
The
it
singles
We call it the chief. You want to get down to the
Yeah,
chief.
yeah.
Like, if you got that first fish that's leading. If fish number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he sees that lure first and goes the lure, he's going to spook the whole bunch. But
Well, that's why. Yeah.
if you can creep your way down to the chief and he starts following it, like we've had it a bunch of times where 1 turns, 2 turns, you got 8 fish following your lure.
Oh, really?
And they're all in this perfect line. But I think fish 2 to 7 don't know what's going on. That
is mental.
they're just following old mate, and then old mate gets hooked, and they just scatter. Like it's super
like,
funny, eh?
I've noticed that like with you fishing with you, like we're chasing like a school of 3 fish.
Yep.
And one does a little like sharp
Hey,
twitch
Rick.
onto
Yeah.
the lure, and it just fucking sends them
Yeah.
into a.
Yeah,
See
they go
boils
skit.
as well.
Yeah.
They're like, what the hell's
They
going on?
freak out and split up, and you know what I mean. So
Never ran out of fuel, mate. Never ran out. I've got like 250 litre tank. So
okay, well look, some of us only have 50 litre tanks.
Scotty, look. You tell me, book a charter with Jake, right? You'll catch. You just do it.
and we won't run out of fuel.
he doesn't run out of fuel. I
He's there. Yeah.
can tell you that much.
But yeah, it's such an interesting like fishery, and being a guide up there full time and having a good mate up there as well, Sam. We sort of just go back and forth, and for me personally, I'm just thinking about Barra every hour of the day. Unfortunately, it's like I wake up and I'll have a charter that night. I know where the fish are and I know what their behaviour is at night. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll check the wind. All right, they're going to move. All right. I'll check it again at 12 o'clock. All right, it's changed. I'll check it again at 2 and I'll check it at 4 o'clock. And like you can literally, when you know the fish behaviour or the main, the main group of fish you're sort of following. When I say group, I mean there might be 30,000 fish in the area, but you sort of can understand, all right, he's going to be there. He's going to be on the highway. He might dip it, It sounds crazy, but it's literally how I just track fish.
That's what spun my head off, and I don't know which trip it was with you, but it was one of the trips, and you put your bottom dollar on it, but you're like, all right, it's going to get to like 6:15, and we're going to start seeing some fish, and you explained it. You're like, they'll come out of the wood,
Yeah. At this time,
into this highway, and they're fucking like on. Like,
they're on. Like, bro, it's
It's really
spun my head.
we're in a pond.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Timing is everything on that dam, and once you work that out and you work out a pattern, it's like that every day of the week. I hear a lot of people that come up, it's a shit moon phase, but
that's what I was gonna.
The moon phase means nothing. Like
Well,
my best sessions have been on
just
quarter
garbage,
moon, half moon, southwest wind. But, like just no one around.
But you book a charter, you have to go fishing. It doesn't matter what it is. Like if someone goes,
That's
I'm free
exactly.
now.
Always take my mates out, Scotty.
Yeah. Leave me alone. But that's the thing. So if someone, let's say, it could be the most
Demonic,
moon. It could be blowing 20 knots. But this is like, even when we went up there, it was windy or whatever, and you were like, right, I know where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm going to adapt to the conditions. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And we still caught fish, no matter what.
I've, a lead up and a lead out of a full moon. I've definitely caught fish, but I can't remember one session where I'm like, Jesus Christ, that
crazy,
full moon was insane.
Yeah.
It's never based like that. When I rock up to a dam and I see, 10, 20, 30 boats, it's relatively quiet. I know it's going to be pretty good, and I can find an area that doesn't have boat traffic, and hopefully, put a few in the boat.
Another thing as well, I just want to touch on as well. Like I know you've mentioned Sam, the Mondi man, a fair bit, and massive shout out to Sam. Great guy, really, really good dude. Now, one thing that I find is quite admirable, is that the word I'm looking for, between both of you guys is it's not
a competition.
It's not like both of you guide the dam. It's one dam, both you guys guide there, but you guys work so well together. You create content together, and you guys look like it's like a pretty good relationship. And like, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. I'd love to take all the credit for me and say I worked all this out myself, but I was super fortunate that I was, me and Sam got on from, the day we sort of met. And when I moved up here, he knew I put sort of everything on the line to make this work. And he just gave me everything. Like, he didn't hide one thing and just taught me so much in a matter of a few months. And we're fishing every day together, to the fact that he'd have a charter and he'd let me come out, and I can sort of see how he operates. And my first few months when I was still trying to get it together, he was unreal. And we've worked a lot of stuff out together, but the basic fundamentals of barra fishing pre-live scope, he taught me so much. And then during live scope, we've worked out a lot of stuff together, and he's constantly adapting and evolving his homemade lures, and it's really a big game changer for us.
Tell
It's
you
allowed
what,
us
these
to-
homemade lures.
Yeah.
Can I order 500 of them?
he's done such a good job at them and he's got a bunch of different sizes and a different variety of sinking, floating, and they all suit different months, different periods of the year, and we've got them really dialed in now.
And they work so well for you guys on the charters.
Yeah, and they're great.
Man, they're just
we've
good to use.
I've got
Loaves of bread.
They last forever. I've got one.
Monduran Bakery.
It's probably caught 200 fish on it. It's a rally, and it's just
Was that the one that Azza lost? Anyway.
Yeah, that's. Look, I feel like with those lures, man, I'm in the same like mental state of mind that I was like, say, going to Mondi without light scope and then going to Mondi with light scope. I feel the same way going to Mondi without the wooden lures, but now that I've gone with the wooden lures, I don't want to go back without.
Mate, you're not alone.
Yeah.
No. This Carl right there, he's
Yeah.
the same. He got on the woody training.
Yeah.
And the amount of charters we get, people are like, oh, just give me a wooden lure. Can I have one? Like,
Yeah.
But we don't.
loaves of bread, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam doesn't want to sell them, and I'm
Which is-
fortunate enough that he lets
It's your
me use them.
livelihood.
Yeah.
It's your livelihood, and that's fair enough. And
Was he upset when I lost that one?
I don't think
That
I
was a
told
good
him.
fish, eh?
Oh, did I tell him? Maybe I did tell him.
I've still got a scar from that thing.
We do lose a couple, but it's funny. You need like a week of morning sometimes because you have a bunch of them, but you might have a couple that are just your go-tos.
They're working, yeah.
And when you lose that favourite woody,
Yeah.
mate, it's a week of morning.
Yeah.
Until you get confidence in another
Yeah.
one. It's pretty funny.
Another question as well. So shout out to Sam, man. Honestly, Mondi man, absolute legend. So if Jake's fully booked or vice versa, you can. There's
Bounce
always
between the
there's
two.
always a charter to get on there out there. Really.
Yeah, definitely. We're always ready to go. So.
And another thing, so obviously people come on your charter. Like when Azra and I were up there, we met some young blokes up there, and they had a boat, and they're like, "Oh, we're going out with." They went out with you. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
And
remember that, yep.
So, how often is it that people come up, get on a charter, and then you just see them out in the dam fishing the exact same spot where you took them on that charter? You know what I mean? Is that like quite a common occurrence?
100%. But
Because we'll do it.
yeah, no, it's 100% it's a common occurrence. And
Well, the safest thing you got with me is I have a terrible memory.
And I'm
So
not
I'll
a good
I'll
fisherman.
take
Yeah.
you there in the dark, mate. You won't know where
Yeah,
you are.
exactly.
But yeah,
I do
you-
a couple of turns, bro. I'm like,
I'll get.
so I see min lods.
So I'm talking about.
I'll do like the odd charter, and old mate's got his phone out. Just look over and just screenshot, which is cool,
Yeah.
But it happens, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't worry me at all. But
I feel
it's
like
what
that
they're
would-
paying for to learn,
yeah.
and it's great if a charter can help them go to that same spot the next day and catch fish. Well,
Yeah.
that's my job done.
done.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see, and the clients are frothing. They'll send you a text the next day. Look at this thing, and you're like, how good's that? You
Yeah.
know? They went out, they learnt for 6 hours, 8 hours on a charter, and then went to work themselves and caught fish, and that's super. That's really rewarding.
I feel like they kind of come back as well. I feel like it's not often. I feel like you'd get repeat customers as well. That'd be quite a common thing.
Oh, they're the best, repeat customers, because each time you see them evolve so quickly.
Yeah,
and it's funny though, because you might have them in spring, they come 3 months later and they've done 2 days fish on the dam on their own, they haven't caught anything. Like, mate, we're doing exactly what we did last time. And I'll say, mate, it's all
different
changed.
now, yeah.
Jump on, they
Yeah.
do a charter, they learn,
fish.
and then,
Yeah.
that's how it should be.
What would you rather fish with, a kid's barbie rod or a hand line?
Oh, I'll go the hand line.
And is it true you caught a barramundi on a stick?
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah,
So Sam got a big metery, and I got like an 80 or something.
On the stick.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
watching that YouTube. That was cool,
It was
man.
good fun. Like we just
Yeah.
we had too much
You had
fun
a
on our hands.
Stella on the on the stick. Money's not an option.
Shout out Shimano.
I got a stellar cover on the.
I really want to
the
get.
G-Fab.
I really want to get one on a. I've seen a YouTube. I think maybe a lot of fishers probably seen. There's a YouTube video of someone on a paddleboard catching a GT or something.
Oh, it's
Oh, it's
Matt.
Nate Schultz.
Oh, is it
He's
Matt?
on the
Yeah,
team.
I really want to do that at Monduran, especially this time of the year because
That'd be cool.
it suits like a
Go
certain
do
way
it,
we
mate.
fish.
Go do it.
Oh, mate,
I'd love
good
to
fun.
see that.
It's so cold, you fall.
But how are you going to do it without life scope, bar?
Nah, there's a
Get someone to go, cast there.
No, you won't need light
Calm
scope
down,
for it.
calm down.
Stop. Nah, mister, bring it in.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Nah, you won't need live scope for it, but I reckon that could be a bit of fun if
Yeah.
we're quiet for a couple of days. I might give it a crack.
Man, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, we'll come up and guide you on this little bar if you want.
Yeah, it's good fun just doing different things rather than just
100%.
taking out and
Yeah.
doing the same.
That's
thing
my
every day.
problem is it's like you asked me before, do you use anything else other than vibes?
use what works, eh?
Why would I?
This works, and I'm not changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't tell me how to fish.
Yeah. And then I'll try something. I know it works, but like it'll be 5 minutes and not getting a bite, and you're like, just go back.
I'm a bit the same.
Yeah, 100%.
If I need to get the job done or I just want to catch fish, right, I'm just
Look, as I said, if fishing was a bonus, if catching fish was a bonus, yeah, okay. But I'm out there to catch fish, so
Yeah.
whatever works.
and I've got 3 hours that I need to get done. now.
Exactly, yeah.
So
Yeah.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah, maximise the fishing capacity.
Yeah.
No, that the old stick video, eh?
Mate,
It's just that easy. Just that easy.
And it was just a
Made it fish.
regular stick too, backyard stick. I think
Yeah.
Sam snapped it off the back of his backyard. He rocks up
This
one day
work.
with some little eyelets in it. I'm like, let's go. You know, it was good fun. And I don't think it took overly long. Like it wasn't too bad. Got a heap of bites on it, but just couldn't
Yeah, I
get it to
remember
stick.
that,
Yeah,
Kept
so-
missing them. Like
the
Richo.
That's fine. I know. I'm shit at fishing. We've come to a segment. Still don't have a name for it after six episodes, series 1. Still don't have a name for it.
Who
Wants
do you
to be
want
a millionaire?
Who do you want to
I know where
marry
you're going,
and
you
fuck?
bastard.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
I got the other one. We're not up to that segment yet.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Your
favorite fish to catch?
do you like fishing?
I like fishing.
I love
Let's
fishing.
just call it that.
No, your favorite might be an obvious one, but your favorite species to chase.
Yeah, it's definitely
Alright,
Monday.
Okay, yeah, we
sure.
kind of. Now, your least favorite species, like it's, and we don't mean like the toadfish at the boat ramp.
Garfish.
Yeah,
I'd probably
like,
say something like, something that doesn't appeal to me is like shark fishing, I'd say.
Yeah, no.
Going to catch
I
a thread
respect
fin.
that.
never caught any sharks in Monduran?
No
That'll
sharks.
break my son's heart, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Each to their own.
no shark. Yeah, like sharks. I don't think
No, I
it
feel ya, I
really
feel ya.
appeals to me too much. But
I do it for my son, but like it's I'm like, man, they stink.
yeah.
They fucking bite your face off.
Yeah, they'll bite your chunks out.
And you're scared of a couple of trebles. I'd hate to see you around
Yeah,
yeah.
some teeth.
I'm
mate.
fine, bro, because you know the good thing about shark,
grab
you can manhandle that thing. You can grab that like an inner thigh. You know what I mean?
Stop it.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're 100% right. Now, give us, usually it's a random story, but give us a little story, like a funny story, a meaningful story, whatever you want from one of your charters.
From my charters. Jeez, put me on the spot there.
Yeah, well, that's
They've all
what it's
been
like.
pretty. They've all been pretty. I'd honestly say probably.
It can be funny.
Yeah.
It can be the pirate breaking the.
Oh,
We've
I'd-
already been the pirate.
I need to meet the pirate.
yeah.
Talked about that lady the other
nighttime
day.
daytime.
I'd probably have to say it's me mate. It's now my good mate Andrew. His name is.
Shout out Andrew.
He comes on charter with me a bit, and he's a bit of a loves a Bundy on charter.
Oh,
He's-
Bundy,
he's
Monday
the-
to Sunday.
He's the funniest bloke, and he took out his brother and his brother's mate. I think it was their birthday, so there was 3 of us. And mate, they were just carrying on the Bundy, screaming, yelling. It was just one of those charters that was super enjoyable. And
Yeah.
that they'll give me shit, I give them shit, and
Yeah.
they're just a really good guy to take out. And every time he comes out with me, he always does well, but just the worst hookup rate.
Oh, really?
Like I'm talking 20 bites, 2 fish. Like,
Are we talking about Richo?
nah, not this one, but there's more of you out there, mate. You're not alone.
Is that from the Bundies, bro?
Oh, yeah, could
Reaction time?
It was good.
One's from the spectrum.
It was good though, because the last charter he came out with me a couple of weeks ago, he finally it all came together for him. I think he got like 6 or 7 fish at 1.24
Cool.
meter. So
Oh,
he was
1.24 m.
Yeah, and it was like second fish too. It didn't take us long, so
really?
it was sick. Yeah, really good.
Now, can you tell the difference looking at live scope between a meter fish and a 1.20 m?
Yeah, they're like
20 centimeters, obviously. Decent
yeah, you
size.
can. I wouldn't. Couldn't put it down to centimeters, but I can look at the screen and be like, oh, that's like a 70 or 80, or that's a meter, and oh, geez, that's a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to go. Oh, yeah, that's 115. But
you can just tell it's a.
yeah, that's a standard meter, and geez, that's a donk. It's definitely you can do it somewhat. I don't know how accurate it is, but we've also seen fish that look like caddies, like literally look like catfish turn into 120s as well. So I think it all depends on like the angle of the fish, the beam, and all the rest of it.
God damn, that's a good caddy. Let me cast that weight. It's a 1.20 m.
Mate,
Damn it. Wind in.
Yeah, I remember I was going with Sam. I'm like, don't cast that, man. That looks like shit. Cast, twitch, 1.20 m. I'm like, you prick.
It's like the Logan River Barra. I don't know what it is. Like you see some big bright boys.
Yep.
But like the most of the fish that me and like Callan have seen, they're like it's like ghosts. They're not as bright as like a Mondi.
Yeah.
They
I
cover
don't know
themselves
what
in mud. It's like the Predator.
I don't
Arnold
know.
Schwarzenegger and the Predator.
I'd love to know like maybe it's food.
Yeah,
Because what are you
I'm not-
seeing like? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna go down that.
Go down that path. You were halfway down it.
Yeah, I know. I pulled out.
I'll pull you.
It's
I'll
the
pull you
first time.
back out,
It's the
mate.
first timeAz has ever pulled out.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's food source or
Yeah. I'm not
you know
too
what I
sure
mean.
either.
Like, but they seem to be like you really got to look for them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Do we go to our next segment? This is a fun one.
Yeah.
I like this segment.
Yeah.
You got to marry one? kill one and sleep with one.
Yeah, right.
Okay, there's three. You got three choices here. I don't know.
This is how we determine what sort of person you
Yeah,
are,
this
by
is
the way.
this
So
is
no
this-
pressure.
This is we judge you on this one. Okay, it's very
Judge
good.
me. Judge me well.
So we've got Paul Worsling,
Heard of him?
one of the
Worsling?
the greatest,
Worsling.
one of the greatest television fishing presenters of our time.
Yeah, my good mate Worsling.
Rex Hunt,
Rexy.
one of the greatest television presenters ever in history.
One of the OGs.
One of the OGs. And
we had DJ, you missed it.
Robson Green.
Yeah.
Do you know Robson Green?
Yeah.
Extreme fishing.
He's a loose cannon.
He is.
I'd probably get rid of him just because.
You're gonna kill
So you're
Robson.
killing him.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta sleep with either Paul Worsling or Rexy, and you gotta marry either Paul Worsling or Rexy.
I'd have to sleep with Paul because I don't think I could deal with him full time.
Yeah.
Okay. Sort of, root and boot. And then, Rexy, I could spend some time with Rexy. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I really like Rexy had a few stories. If you lose.
Rexy, can
Oh,
you kiss
mate,
me and throw me back
absolutely.
in, please?
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, the boys.
We didn't okay, Aussie mate. All right. I'm not a Ledette. But anyway. That's good to know. It's good to know. I judge you highly on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the right decision. I'm
think-
happy with it. I'm
Yeah.
sticking with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I can't even remember what my choices were.
Neither can I.
I think it was the same actually.
If you had one lure to use for the rest of your life,
Oh, Jackal.
not just the whole range of Jackal, not lure company.
Yeah. So you had one
lure.
Non-homemade lures. Oh,
No,
like
it can be, and like
For all species?
It has to be.
So say, wait, let's mix this up a little. Say you weren't just fishing
Mondi.
Yeah.
you were traveling around.
Yeah. And like it was like I
you
don't
had
want
to
to say
eat.
it's life or death, but
It
you have
is.
like you need something to be able to catch fish at any given turn.
It's life and death.
Yeah,
It's life and death. You will die.
You will die if you don't.
choose.
If you don't know.
I'd go the 115 Jackal.
115 Jackal.
Yeah, it's a great lure. Caught heaps
Yeah.
of barra on it, no doubt.
Yeah.
Bunch of jack and.
So
everything
say
else
you're in a
between.
river with just brim. You fucked.
Nah, mate.
Bro, how big is some of the
Subtle
brim you
twitch,
caught?
that's true, yeah.
Brim eat anything.
That's true.
Big human teeth. 65-year-old animal with man teeth.
Yeah, we'd get it done, man. Get it done.
Oh, 115 Jackals girl. Let's go.
It's a great lure.
Jackal. It is. It's
Yeah.
a good lure. Very nice. Very sleek.
I chose what vibe. Have you even answered that question? Oh, you did. Squidgy Wriggler or something.
Squidgy wriggle and
Yeah.
bloodworm.
Yeah.
With a bit of stank. With
Oh,
sauce.
you know
Sauce.
what I would go to actually.
Yeah, here we go.
Truth comes
He's
out.
thought about it now.
So like when I first, got right into the lure fishing, the old Berkeley 3-inch shrimp, mate, did wonders for me. I used to fish the Noosa River super. Like when I was growing up, that was the system we all sort of fished.
Yeah.
And I remember going up to Harvey Bay with a 3. You know how stinky they were, and you'd
Oh, bro.
open the odd pack and they'd be stale.
It's
You'd be
it's
filthy.
addictive, bar. I don't know what this. It's terrible, but it's addictive.
Yeah,
You're
you
like,
should-
yeah, let me have a look.
You shouldn't eat them.
Everything
Says
else
who?
does.
Says who?
Aussie mate, thank you for the subscription.
Got like these 2 meter flathead within half an hour of each other.
1 meter flatties.
2 1 meter
No
flathead.
way.
I swear I'm all mate. I did have it. Did have it.
Was this before your accident or after?
It was in Harvey Bay. Me and my old man.
Bro, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, one was like 1.2 meters, and I can't remember what the other one was. It was meter 5, whatever it was. Just these absolute 2 horses within half an hour of each other. I cast in the same spot, and it was it was incredible. Could have been the same fish. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
But,
like you were asking earlier, like, do I ever switch up from a vibe for threadies?
Yep.
Those lures, like when threadies like they're there, but they're super shut down. I've
Yeah.
had the most luck on those.
Yeah.
Just a bit of shit
Yeah.
with a really heavy jig head.
That's me holding a fishing rod. Is it interesting?
Did you think-
Controversial question. Yes, it is. Thank
you
you,
did. Cool.
Ozzy, mate, for the
Thanks,
subscription. Should live scopes be allowed in Barra comps?
I've read a little bit on this, The different.
I'm not the
opinion.
one to answer that. Like, I love live
Come
scope,
on,
but
your
I'll
opinion.
fish the comp with or without it. So if it's a non-live scope comp, and everyone, well, it is what it is.
My opinion,
Everyone's going to have
I
it.
feel like if the technology's there,
Use
you should be able to use it.
It's like saying should be able to side scan. That was a new technology once.
Like I suppose it's the same sort of argument of like
It's a very controversial subject.
It
and,
is,
you know,
yeah,
there's
and I'm
so
all
many-
for it, and I'll fight people to the death about it. No,
Like I
won't.
said in the first episode, put the most passionate people from each one, put them in a cage and let them fight.
Yeah, I'll watch that. But like, it's like the same argument with like they run comps and there's a bait section and a lure section. Like I can understand that.
Yeah.
But it's like, at what point did like people have the same opinion about side scan? And like I feel like there was never a
You know who's going to be a really good person to talk to this about? Steve Morgan.
yeah.
Yeah, that might be the right person, I think.
Tune in next
But yeah, I'm
But like, was side scan ever that much of a problem when it come out? Because everyone seems to use side scan now.
I feel like we evolved from sounders that had pictures of fish
Yeah.
to structure. You could see structure.
People still use that,
I would.
the pictures of fish. And I just look, if I could have any advice to anyone, just don't pay attention to that. I'm sorry. Like, it's not telling you if it's an actual fish or not.
It's big though.
And it's got like a little number in it, like 2.
Too
Oh,
big.
5. That's a 4.
That's too big to catch.
That's a thready. Look, I don't know a lot, but my dad told me that a 4 on the sounder is a thready. It's not real.
Oh my god.
But I don't know. I feel like
So yeah, you go to so it's not the jackal. You're going for the Berkeley. What is it? What did you say?
Berkeley poo.
yeah, I
French
think
poo.
it was like a 3-inch shrimp, Berkeley,
Yeah.
whatever it was, stinky thing, and
Spade.
yeah,
Spade fish.
You're talking about gulp.
Gulp.
Yeah,
shrimp.
gulp,
Berkeley
yeah.
gulp.
Yeah.
Gulp shrimp.
that or the
greatest.
gladiator. I think it was
Gladiator smash
gladiator
prawn.
prawn or whatever it was,
Bro,
Yeah,
that was my
Tell
blue
us.
light go-to.
Ah.
I don't know. I haven't seen those for years.
I remember like that was fished heavily in Noosa when I was like
Yeah.
around 15, 16, 17.
It was a
like,
good bait.
Go down the Woods Bay, get Trevally,
Yeah.
Taylor, go
Yeah.
get Jack on them, Deweys. You know,
Yeah.
it was pretty versatile lure. I don't even know if it's still around, but
I haven't
Sure,
seen
there's
it,
some
but that's-
imitations now.
Yeah, that's all I used to fish in the blue lights.
Yeah.
Was the gladiator smash prawn, I think they were called.
yeah, there's
And that was just like it was a translucent lure,
Yeah.
and it had bits of gold fleck in it.
Yep.
And it was just perfect for dewies in the blue lights.
Yeah, that was a great little plastic.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
What's that?
Blue light dewies?
Nah.
Blue light discos?
No.
You'd love that, eh?
Would I?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
You
I
see
don't know
these-
if he will.
I-
He just questioned you straight up.
He did.
Would
but
I?
You would enjoy it.
Would I?
I'm sure I would.
I'm just going to go home and catch a meter 20.
No,
Barra
I'd
Monday.
definitely, I'd enjoy it for sure.
It's like it's IRL live scope.
Yeah,
You see him in the blue light. The blue light's even like the shape of a
Yeah, it's the beam.
of a beam.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they go, this.
Yeah. And you throw your lure in and you watch them follow it. And
Yeah. Whoa, it just spooked me in my head.
sorry about that.
Another segment that we like to call
Don't have a name. You
Five Fish.
can see we put lots of effort into these streams.
We do.
before
We've
start.
had guests on nearly, and we do well, Azza, okay? Give us credit. Okay. Five fish, dream fish that you would like to target that you have not caught. You know, what is that what I'm thinking? Is that what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
at? Like five fish that you'd like to target,
Yeah.
that you'd like to chase, like you'd like to catch.
I'd like to do like get a monster Trev on a popper.
Like a GT?
Yeah, something something big.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Maddie Schultz. Let's get Jake up fishing.
Yeah,
Matty.
like a real big queenie on a pop, on a surface lure.
Yeah.
a queen fish.
Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, just a real.
Well, this is good, but it's
Real
different.
dunk- yeah,
Very
I
different.
feel like everyone was picking the same shit. Like last
Um,
3 times we went through
yeah,
it. so
I'd
this is
love.
good.
I'd love. To, I'd
Queenie
really
GT.
love to get those two done.
Queen and GT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty. Pretty standard, but the whole black bass thing.
Bass, yep, of course.
That'd be pretty cool.
Banger.
Yeah, I haven't done like a lot of like out in the salt, like in the deep. So
Yeah.
Yep.
like just anything really.
Yeah.
Just
Just some reefies like coral
Yeah.
trout,
I'm going to need a species here, Jake.
red.
monster cod,
Excuse me?
like huge.
Like a big
You
cod.
talking about groper or cod?
Yeah, big groper.
Oh, groper.
That's fine. Don't judge him, bro. What are you
No, it's
judging?
fine. No,
Have you seen the videos of the Americans dropping the Jack Travails
Yeah.
down under the bridges?
You
And
just couldn't, you couldn't pay me to do it.
And what else would I like to catch? I don't know, like a tarpon or something.
big
Like the
tar-
big
the
tarpon.
American tarpon.
Yeah.
But look, to be fair, I'm in no hurry. I'm really happy barra fishing.
Oh,
and
fair.
I'm pretty I'm super focused on the barra fishing
Yeah.
at the moment.
You're
and-
guiding an
yeah,
aquatic
and
species.
if something ever happens to the dam, I guess I'll go chase some other species. But I just want to be the best barra angler I can be. That's
Yep.
sort of all I'm really.
Mate, I
focused
really
on.
believe you are.
So, look,
There's a lot of really good anglers out there that have done it for a long time. But I'm just really enjoying it, and I'm really lucky to be in a good position where I get. to
You have
fish every day.
results when people go on charters, and literally every response from someone who goes on your charter is a positive one. So you're doing something right, mate.
Yeah, it's great.
So
fun.
keep it up.
so I
Good
got a question.
For
What
me?
is it? No, I don't care about you. No, I'm
Same.
joking.
Feelings mutual.
What does it mean for you if the dam spills?
Um,
Like, what's your thought process? Say, like,
I would
you know,
first want to investigate the dam with life scope and see if all the fish
Yeah.
do go over.
Yeah.
Because I think it's pretty seasonal, and it needs to be pretty catastrophic to really harm the dam.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be too worried if it just trickled over for a little bit, but
yeah.
you know,
No, I'm talking about
Flat like
an
a
event.
Barrett and trees
Oh,
down the bottom.
I would possibly keep going north, maybe go to another dam and come back,
Yeah.
or stay in the fishing industry somewhat. I don't know exactly what
Yeah.
that is, but I'm loving making a career out of fishing, and I want to continue to do that. Which way that goes, I'm not too sure yet, so I'm keeping an open mind and just enjoying the now. For
Just
the
lap
time
it up
being.
while it's here.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered going to invest in some steel Rio?
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. Can we? What's the?
Why, Ed? It'd be
How much Rio can we get from this? Only local job sites. That's exactly what.
Mate, it'd be so good to see, but yeah.
You were in construction.
I think there's been lots of people before us that have been petitioning for it for probably a decade or two or even
Why is
longer.
it such a big drama?
I don't know. I think it's a costing thing. I know Rusty worked really hard to try and get something together, and
Someone's got money.
yeah, I know.
Give it
but-
some.
I know.
Give us some of the money.
But it's pretty incredible the way the dam's getting stocked now. I wouldn't be overly concerned if
Yeah.
it does go over. Like we put 370,000 fingerlings in the dam last year, and I would have released with Sam probably 120,000 of them myself.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, there was only
Well
me
done.
and a couple other boats. So and the year class is really good. So there's plenty of fish still in the dam coming up, and
Yeah.
you might not have the 120s, but there's be plenty of 70s.
And that's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
question I have. So those big fish, like a big brim's like 75 years old.
Yeah.
Like is it like a barra like 10-year-old, 12-year-old
Yeah, I think
sort
the
of thing?
the 120s would be
Because they grow fast. I had a barra in a fish tank and it grew nearly like 50 centimeters in a week. It felt like
It's insane. Like
they're rapid growing animals.
It's
Starwater
really hard to
beasts.
explain how big they get after that 120. Like,
Yeah.
because I've seen a few of them lately. It's like you see the 115s down now. The 115s don't look that big. It's just incredible how fat and round and
Yeah.
heavy they get. And people throw around weights at Monduran, and people cop a bit of shit for it because they're not that heavy. But man, they are so heavy. Like that
Yeah.
that 128 we got was over 35 kilos.
It had
but
to be, yeah.
There was a fish Sam got a few months back. It was only 121. But there hasn't been a 120 we've caught that looked anything like this thing. It was
Yeah.
the biggest fish I've ever
Yeah.
seen. And who knows? We said it was around 30, 35 kilos, and copped a bit of shit for it. But this thing was just enormous, and until you seen it and picked it up, you wouldn't
Imagine
know.
telling the two guides of the dam.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like
Relax.
we copped it from a bunch of people, and we're like, mate, trust me, this thing was
Man,
insane.
they get like
yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I've seen many barra. I've caught barra in the salt and stuff like that, but then like seeing a Monduran barra, they're thick, man.
Yeah.
And like when you see it, like you're holding this fish and it's sitting in your arm, and the fish is still higher than your arm,
Mate, they are.
and like you're like these things are big.
Yeah, people talk about the Fairburn barra, but I think you put a 120 Mondi next to a Fairburn, they're identical. There's so much bait in that dam. They probably lose a little bit of weight during winter. Like I've been catching the odd skinnier fish.
Yeah.
But once that metabolism fires back up in spring, we're going to see some seriously fat, healthy
Chop,
fish,
chop.
and they're just so much fun. When you get these heavy, you get these psycho odd warped ones. Like, I got a 113
Tilted.
with my mate. Oh, my mate got a 113 with me a while back, and this thing, mate, like was just the fattest thing ever. Like it was insane, and like it's just it's crazy. It's really cool to see.
A Wonga versus Mondi, which is thicker fish.
Oh, look, they're both southern strain barras, so they've both got the potential to be as fat as each other. I don't think you can pick one from another. There's skinny fish at Awonga. There's also the super fatties and vice versa at Monduran. So,
gonna be
and I
everywhere.
can't really talk for Awonga too much. I haven't fished there too much myself, but from the photos they look like quality fish, in line with Mondi. I'd say
yeah.
different colour, but
Man, like the thing with Mondi is, especially if you're like a southeast Queenslander, it's the first dam. So like, why
It's
would you
not
go?
far away?
Why would you go any further?
yeah. And I like.
It's a beautiful dam.
Salties,
too.
if you want to chase salties.
think-
Oh, like I'm talking about impoundment.
Yeah.
Awonga's in a really good position. They've been stocking it so hard. I think the dam level's still pretty low. So give that dam a few years, and
Yeah.
it's going to have a heap of fish. But I love Monduran, the fact of how it's set up. Like you can sort of fish tiny creeks, tiny creeks, big rivers, points, bays.
Yeah.
The deep, the shallow.
Bit of
There's such a
everything.
variety and so many
big dam.
areas of the dam that sort of you drive straight past, you wouldn't think there's fish. There's so many flats off the creek beds, and places that are so overlooked. And the wind might be blowing a certain direction. There's areas in the dam where, all right, the wind blows a certain direction for 2 days, but once that wind changes, from a southeast to a northeast, that first 2 days on a northeast will hold fish in this certain flat. And, there's all so many different little areas and little nooks and crannies where all these fish can hide, which
Yeah.
makes it really appealing and lots of fun, and
massive dam.
plenty of room for everyone to fish
Yeah.
as well.
a massive dam. I don't know how big a Wonga is.
Oh, it's a massive dam.
huge,
Yeah,
is
it's a big dam, and
Monduran just seems like so daunting. Like
yeah, I think just because it's
that's the biggest thing with me over the years is I haven't been up to a lot of spots just like due to lack of maps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm
trees.
still
Well, it's not an easy dam to navigate.
No, absolutely
There's
not.
so many sticks.
There's places you go, like you have your safe routes,
Mm.
and like they're just routes I would not have gone anywhere near.
Yep.
Like, you know, especially that first or second pass through where you go between the big tree.
Yeah,
and
that's the
it looks
safest
like you're going into
Takes
the
the
sticks.
brave man to
Mate,
get a risky
yeah,
route.
The
you know
odd,
what I mean?
I always, when I'm going through on charter and I'm being with someone, I always just look over there, just low key, just going.
Especially at
like,
night.
He's going straight
Yeah.
towards that tree, you know.
Especially at night, like
Yeah.
I'm still the same in your boat. Like
Yeah.
you got the big spotty on and shit,
Yeah.
but like you'll be heading towards it. And I'm like, is this guy conscious right now?
But I used to be the same. Like when I first went night fishing, I jumped on Sam's boat and he was driving around and like not knowing the dam so well. He was driving around like 60 k's an hour and I couldn't see nothing. I'm like, how does he know where he's going?
Yeah.
You know, like it's just being on the dam every night. Like
Yeah.
I'm fully nocturnal now. I've been out. Like
Yeah,
I'm
that's
on
the
the
thing, man.
Yeah, like I'm on the dam 6 days a week, and
Yeah.
generally I'm fishing, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. and I'm home at 12. I have dinner at 12:30.
Yeah.
And I'm in
Yeah,
bed by 1
exactly.
a.m.
Yeah.
And that's just how it's been.
And then you
through-
might have a morning day
But like that, not
Yeah.
like getting used to like nighttime fishing is a thing because like
Mate, I couldn't
obviously-
sleep last night. I was like, I need to get to sleep. I'm going to get up early for
Yeah,
this thing.
yeah,
Mate, I was pinging at 12 o'clock because
Yeah.
that's just how my body clock
Yeah,
is. And it's
that's a
not changing.
gamer's body clock, man.
I like that. I respect that.
Yeah,
But
man, I
like-
jumped on the Twitch, like,
Yeah, I was up until 12:30 last night in
Yeah.
GTA.
I was in bed by like 9:30. I'm a good boy
You're
lately.
a good
Washed the
boy.
boat, got back here at 7, washed the boat, went home, bacon, egg sandwich, straight on the
All right,
couch.
now you're just showing
Sleep.
off, man.
Can we get
I'm
some good boys in
But
chat,
that's what I was
guys?
going to say about like nocturnal, like you get used to it because it was the same with me. Like all I did was jacks for a long
Yeah.
time, nighttime, and I'd take someone out that doesn't fish at night and they'd be like,
They start yawning at 9 o'clock. You're
well,
like,
it's
mate,
not
we
even
haven't
that.
started.
They can't see.
Yep.
And like I can see perfectly.
Yep.
Like I don't know, it's like some of your eyes get used to. Richo was the same.
I was
think.
I was the same for sure because
Yeah.
I remember locking out. I was like, man, I've done a little bit of night fishing, but I was like, man, I have to be super accurate. I
Yeah.
can't see what I'm doing.
And quiet.
And
But like another part
You've
of
been
that
known
is-
for some big footsteps on the boat.
no,
Okay.
mate, I can't.
There's
sit
a fish
still.
coming.
Old thunder feed over here.
I can't sit still. I
can't.
I cannot sit still. It's
Yeah.
impossible for me to sit
ants in his
still.
pants.
And like that's the problem. And like like I was saying, at night you can't see. I feel like I'm blind.
Yeah.
But then once you do it more, you lock in more, and then you're confident in your casting. You know exactly where you cast.
Well, a huge part. I was going to say a huge part of it is like muscle memory. I can like probably not so much now, but when I get into the groove of things, I can like do a stroke and I know like exactly where it's going to land, even if
Yeah.
I can't see.
Yeah, once you get your orientation on the boat.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I always leave my pole how it is.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
where 12 o'clock is, and
Yeah.
after a couple of hours, the clients know it as well. And
Yeah.
every now and then, if a fish dips left or right, I'll quickly turn it. But yeah, I think
Majority of the time, it's just same spot.
all right, guys, 12 o'clock. They know exactly where 12 o'clock
You
is.
just get on that boat, and then you just passenger princess, and that's what all you need to know.
I still to this day can't believe like what you get, like what you do for us. Like,
Oh, it's phenomenal.
like
That
that's
first-
how I picture a charter, man.
Oh,
And I know a lot
that's-
of charters aren't like that.
We're not going out to the spot. All right, tragged you. Drop it down.
Mate, that's exactly what you got. Is exactly
And it's
what a
amazing.
charter
Like
is.
that in itself is just fun. Like you
Yeah.
sit between me and Richo.
Yep.
And you're like, sometimes you don't say anything. You got your remote in your hand.
You see the little light
Which
up.
gives
and
me
like, ooh.
anxiety.
The
I
remo-
might add.
The remote's great because it
Yeah.
it glows. I used to
Yeah.
not have it. People can see exactly
Yeah.
where they need to cast. And
12, and that's what I reckon.
Can I just say, like every
Hey,
time
you don't know what you're doing.
I agree. I strongly agree with that one.
I've had a few funny. I had a funny
12
charter.
o'clock.
I had a funny charter with old Charlie.
Yeah.
2012 there, and mate, me 12 o'clock was spot on, mate. I don't know about your cast.
there's been a couple of times where you're like cast over there, and to the T. I get it then. You're like, oh fuck, what was that? I'm like, I just cast it where you told me to cast.
That was a bad cast.
But like I'll say that when you do that remote point,
Yeah.
that gives me anxiety every single time. I don't know if it's my OCD, but because that remote isn't attached to you, I get this sinking.
I don't want you
feeling.
to be scared on
I
your
know.
boat. I want you to feel safe. And
But
it's
I don't
a
want
safe
you to
zone.
drop your remote.
So I'll put a little.
It actually freaks me out.
Question, first time chatter. What's your tips for a calm, cold nights on Mondi?
Oh, I think the biggest tip, mate, is stealth. The biggest mistake I see from people is just being super impatient, and driving around too quick. So
Yeah.
I think
Don't point to me when you do the same thing. Don't act like as is high and mighty.
if you're learning live scope, I would really work on your boat position and your stealth. And if you can nail them in winter, you're going to be in good stead for the rest of the year and catching them in the daytime too.
So huge thing, Minn Kota on a low speed.
Yeah, Minn Kota, whatever you got, and just being
whatever,
patient.
yeah.
People see not everyone obviously, but some people see a fish at 20 minutes. They see a fish they want to cast straight away. Just be patient. It's not going anywhere. And that's a good tip.
That's my big thing. I'm super impatient. Like I said, I can't sit still. There's a fish I see, I'm just like, I'm gonna get over to it. Gonna get over to it. Az is acting like he never did that as well.
Like you can't deny that I'm slower than you. I would turn the electric down.
I'd be on 7
He'd
and
get up
8
and go, "Foom."
as it was on 5.
Yeah.
But if it was time to boogie, anyway, we're not arguing.
But that's the biggest thing I've learned with you.
Oh, here we go. Is there any chance you could stand up and give a demo on a proper hook set?
Oh, that'd be you, mate.
No, I can't do that.
No, you got the best hook set in the room. You're well known for a good hook set.
The last night I did. I did well the last night.
Yeah, do you remember that 116 you got? That one that was bigger than I think.
make
Was
them
it bigger
as
than yours?
It was
wasn't it?
bigger than all the
Mate,
fish that Az has ever
We're
seen.
right next to those trees. You remember how close those trees were?
Did I stop it? Did
I was
you get
like,
in there?
get into him, get into him.
What did I do?
Oh, no, you did great.
Thanks.
Got it in the boat, held it up. And,
Thanks, Dad.
We're still talking about it 2 months later.
I can't wait to go back.
What a night.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony, how you going, bro?
Another thing. So, if someone wants to book a charter with you,
Yep.
I'm going to duck over here onto your Instagram page. The best thing for someone to do is to call this number here, 0474 496 709. If you're listening on Spotify right now, that is the number you need to call to catch, if you want to go catch a big Lake Monduran barramundi with Jack.
Well done pronouncing that. You're getting better, man.
Thank you.
I still can't.
I see you throw it out wrong every now and then, but
That's
you work
us.
on
I
it.
can't, bro. Every time I go to say it, I get in my head and I butcher it.
Yeah,
Every
so
time.
I think the best way, hit me up on my socials, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, or just text me. If you want rates and that, I'm happy to give them to you.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, so
by
that
the
was at 60, she's going to hate me to keep saying it, 63-year-old
Yeah.
63-year-old young lady there holding up
Look
that
at the
fish.
size of these fish, dude. Like, that's ridiculous.
It was just incredible to see.
Look at the
Look at the
tum-tum.
scales on it, bro.
Yeah, that was
The size
such
of
a
a
big
palm.
fish, and she kicked she kicked her husband's ass fishing too, which was
Good
great.
shit.
Go up the girls.
And that's if you go up. That's not that fella. Go up.
That's
a little-
one?
Nah, keep going up. So that's Andrew, who I was talking about. He got
Yeah.
the 124, and the photo below that's at 128.
That's
So dumb.
Yeah, so that was at 124. We got a couple of weeks ago. He comes with me a bit. He's a really good dude, and always
size that thing?
always fun to fish with.
a monster.
It is a monster.
Absolute
Go to
monster.
the one below it, the
Yeah,
128.
yeah, that's the 128.
128.
Yeah, that guy had such a good session with him. So we got 13 fish that night, including a 128. So
That
You know what's cool about the lady that got the 124?
how many fish did we get? It wasn't 13. We got
1, 2, 3.
7. Yeah, so we got 13 fish. 13 fish for his two days, which was so much fun.
So this is the thing, right? 1 meter plus barramundi is
Make a
mental.
whole
You
weekend.
catch 13 in a weekend.
Or in 10 hours of fishing. So, a typical charter is 6 hours, so it's 5 hours of fishing time. We just got stuck straight into it.
Look, the cool thing about the lady, I'm sure she was a little lady. The
No, she
120
was 6 foot.
But like that 124 looks
Mate,
so dumb.
it's giant, man. It's so big.
So you put it see that one I'm holding there, the grey tracksuit. So that was 133
They're not
because
his
I'm so
keys
big.
either.
If you go out of there,
They're not keys.
if you scroll at the top, keep going. Oh no, it's not there anymore. But yeah, it's some really, that was another big 120 there. 121 with his son.
Oh,
which
with
was-
his son, mate.
So he
That's-
couldn't pick the fish up and had to hold it like that.
Perfect.
But yeah, what a night. These two did really well. So Oliver there, his young son, he did really well. He got a bunch of meter barra.
That's so cool.
And his dad comes out with me a fair bit. Typically he does NDIS charters, so it was good for him to bring his son out and get a taste for the action. So they had a great night.
Mate, that's
Yeah.
is that
There he is. The man himself.
wow.
Just flexing on the chart.
That's a big one. That's a
Mate,
that's a big one, guys.
It's a big, strong boy there.
Yeah, that was no drama. Didn't Stone Cold Steve Austin that one. I'm trying to find the stick footage there. Look, just
Yeah, that was the 86-year-old that got his first meter barra
Here?
there. Yeah, So
I love that.
It was such a great charter with him, and that just made his day. He took his wife out, just to watch.
86.
Yeah, and just
He's got good form.
no. Look at me getting 78. Can't even get me dates.
78.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
He was old, but he wasn't that old.
No.
Still pretty old.
That's a Blake the Snake. Look at that.
Who am I?
I
Doesn't
don't
even
know.
look like me.
Sam. That's a
Yeah,
that's
that
some
was-
clips.
So for people on Spotify,
Yeah, well,
YouTube,
yeah.
what is it, Beyond the Tide?
Yeah, so I just it's nothing serious.
Don't
I just,
downplay it.
I
It's
just,
good-
I just
it's
put
good
some
content.
videos
It's
up.
great.
There's
Yeah.
the stick there on the top.
So if you want to watch him do his thing
So
on
here's-
YouTube,
here's a quick
it's,
video,
Beyond
guys.
the Tide.
So
that's a good bloody stick with
that
the
is a
jackal on it.
stick. That is literally a stick.
Yeah, it's an actual stick. It's not even a great stick.
Where did you find this stick?
Where did I find that stick? Sam bought it. Sam got it from his house.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Mate, that was so much fun. I kind of want to get back into the stick, eh?
So for the people on Spotify, we're watching
I don't think Shimano like that one.
we're watching Jake with a stick, and there's a Stella, Shimano Stella,
On the
sticky
on
tape to
stick.
the stick with some guides.
The stick went off, so
Really
really
catch a meter barrel.
so much fun.
That is phenomenal. Devin the Dude, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, mate. Welcome.
Flick me a text or
Hey,
whatever,
Bogans.
DJ, and I'll send you the details, mate.
Was that big on the scope from Callum?
Not from memory. Like I think all the 120s, I wasn't like, oh, that thing's huge.
Yeah.
I remember thinking to myself, I don't remember it being anything crazy. But the funny thing about that 128 we got was old mate did the worst cast ever. Like
Yeah.
one of those sloppy casts that lands 3 meters above the fish.
You
I
wait
looked at-
15 minutes for
and
it to swim over.
Oh, it's just landed so close to him.
Did it?
should
Yeah.
have spooked. And I said, mate, you got no chance with this one. And as we started coming down, it just sat there, come down, stop, come down, stop. And we just suspended in front of his face and he just ran into, ate it. When we got it to the boat, as it hit the net, the hooks came flying out. All the hooks were straight and super lucky to land it. One more run,
really?
it would have been game over. So, and we probably would have just called it a big 115 or something.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
You know, it was a bloody 128. So,
Yeah.
it'll take a while to beat that one and probably one of the biggest Monduran fish caught in a long
Man,
time.
all this talking about.
going next week.
Bro.
Mate, jump in the car. Let's
What
go
are you
up
doing
there.
next week?
I've got no charters tonight. So
Well, I'm
DJ, book in
disappointed, Jake, because we didn't get to go thready fishing over the next day.
Yeah.
The plan was he was going to come down with like a day or two to spare.
I just didn't think you had the confidence in me.
Man, like we get threadies.
What's the time?
Who's Flatty Rob? A better fisherman, in my opinion, lads. I don't know who that is.
Not sure who that is. but,
Anyway,
there's plenty of good anglers out there. So
Flatty-
good on Rob.
Flatty Rob.
I don't know if that's real or am I on the Gravitron? I'm just spiraling over here. DJ,
see Flatty Rob is-
typical charter cost, I assume just give you a call, have a chat
Yeah,
over the phone and
Like I said, just flick me a message, man.
Flick
I'll
him-
shoot you the rates.
yeah, flick him a message, mate. Book in, get up there, catch a Mondi monster.
Yeah, we're sort of we're packaging our rates and hours a bit different now. So we're doing 4, 6, 8, and a 10-hour charter for those that want to grind it out all
10
night.
hour?
Yeah, we're doing just sixes and 8s, but now we're doing a bunch of other stuff, which is really cool.
Flatty Rob.
Is that Flay Rob there?
Yeah.
Legend.
Cool.
Shout out to Flay Rob.
He's better than you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Robbie.
Mind you.
Rob.
Yeah, the Robs are.
Mangrove. Okay, he knows. Okay, sweet. So yeah, the best thing is just give you a bell, mate. Give you a tingle on the phone. Send
Yep.
you a text.
Tingle it up.
Lock in, book in. If you guys want to see more stuff from Jake,
Yep.
go to Jake's Instagram, which is
Look,
his.
it's not just a charter for going to catch fish. Like if you're just new into live scope, and you're just getting one, or you're thinking about getting one, and you want to see if it, is worth getting.
Yep.
It's I think it's definitely
Search
worth.
for this on Instagram, Barra Sports Fishing.
Yeah.
Empowerment Barra Sports Fishing. Give that number a call. These YouTubes there, Beyond the Tides as well. Make sure.
Yeah, there's got to be some really good fish in July and August. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm confident the fish is going to continue to improve. So if you're still umming and ahhing, I'd highly recommend getting up to Monduran. And
Okay.
yeah.
Say less.
We're gonna go. What are you
up-
doing
get up
next
there.
week, mate?
Mate,
He's probably
we'll go
busy,
fishing if you need.
If I need. Yeah.
We need photos and fish.
Yeah, I'll send you some tomorrow.
What do you reckon?
That's good. I got the night off tonight, and then back into it tomorrow, which will be good.
tonight.
State of Origin time. Do you watch rugby league?
About that.
Look, I'll watch
State
the
first
Origin,
state,
but I'm
mate
not.
first
I'm
mate.
not a massive
You're a
league
Queen-
I'm
Queenslander.
I'm an AFL man.
That's okay. But you're a
yeah.
Queenslander, are you?
Yeah, I'm a Queenslander, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's good to know.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Hopefully we get the job done.
Yeah, we will.
I
mate.
know
Don't worry
if you
about
look, if you said, Azza, you want to watch the Origin, which is exactly the same every single year, year in, year out. A
Is
couple
it
of
though?
men throwing balls around.
that's
Or do you want to go catch a fish of a lifetime?
No, it's a great. I love it's so good to watch the Origin. Like
Jake,
I think.
stop.
Hey,
Okay.
No, keep
I've
going.
heard
Jake.
enough. I
think
Don't,
the
don't, listen, don't listen.
I'm not a mad league supporter, but I'll watch
You
the
gotta watch
Origin
Origin.
every year. It's great. Really.
What
good.
about surely Garmin? Listen, surely we can get some. Surely we can get some apps on the sounders by now that we can get like.
Yeah, I know Lorenz do it.
Well, you can get like.
You can watch, like I'll watch someone.
Yeah, Lawrence, black and white, 2D probably.
You're not wrong. No, but like I watched someone, they did a reel like a week or two ago and they were at Mondi.
Really?
And he was watching the footy.
The hub.
how good.
Oh, the footy.
Yeah.
The hub.
All the hub.
Yeah, that is
Imagine
cool.
that. Imagine
Catching a barra.
Imagine climaxing. Catching the barra straight after.
Let's stop it. We're gonna stop there. We're gonna stop there.
Sorry.
Sorry,
TOS.
Do you have any other questions for Jake? I mean, I just want to say something for me.
You have to wait till after. Look, Mrs. Blake thinks she's
She's
got the lead on me or something.
well, we'll
I do what I want when I want.
no, Mrs. Blake, he doesn't. But
Don't
we'll,
hit me.
Yeah. But no, Jake. Honestly, thank you very much for coming down. And
Mate.
I just want to say a
Loved
massive
it.
thank you as well for, as you guys probably may have seen, the content over the last couple of months where you have literally given us the biggest silver spoon and to catch fish. But not only that, it's been a pleasure watching you
Yeah, man.
catch fish as well.
Yep.
You know, behind the lens,
No,
fishing,
appreciate that.
filming and watching how you work and how you fish on your own and then be chartered by you as well. So I just want to say thank you for that and everything that you do. It's very
thank you both
impressive,
for
mate.
the support.
And
And
it's been a pleasure having you on the team.
Yeah,
Can't
it
lie.
is.
I appreciate
It really
it.
has
Thanks
been.
for putting up with Azza and I side
know-
by side.
I know I'm
watching
pretty-
on the boat.
Mate, I love it. We'll do it again. It's always good fun. So it's always great hanging out with you both. And we'll
no.
go catch some barra.
It's been great.
But keep it up, man. Keep it up. And remember, guys, if you want to book a charter with Jake, I'm going to read this number out again for those on Spotify. Give this number a call, 0474 496 709. Call him, text him, tell him he's a legend, but book a charter. It's definitely worth it. From what I've done, been a very average fisherman and catching fish that I'd never dreamed of catching and was able to do that. It's a very cool experience. So if you're thinking about it, definitely
Stop thinking about it.
get in there like swimwear. Don't waste any more time. Sick of you guys wasting time. Don't waste time. But yeah, no, Jake, is there anything else? Is there anything else you'd like to say to anybody listening? And
No, that's about it, mate. I enjoyed coming down. So
we'd love to do another one with you as well, mate. So
Yeah.
if you come down this time, Azza will
go fishing.
guide you some jewfish.
what's the time?
Jew
Do we have
fish.
time? What is the time?
Mate, you
1
could-
o'clock.
You could get out.
Look,
Yeah,
we
maybe
could
not.
try.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
We could definitely try.
We've got to beat
But
the
look,
traffic.
we got to make it happen. Some threadies, maybe some jacks,
Mm.
some
I
winter
come?
jack.
Can I
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd be in a bit of jack fishing for sure. Bit
Yeah,
of
man.
jack, bit
We'll
of
make
winter
something
jack.
happen. I'd like to put you on some fish and repay the.
That'd be
Look.
good. I want to be spoon fed and spoon fed.
I was
real
spoon
well.
fed
Yeah.
by these two men over
Yeah.
here. Spoon fed.
Right in the middle.
Yeah,
They should put you
I'm
in the
doing
middle.
it. Go on.
Can someone spoon feed me again?
Yeah, I'll spoon feed you, bro.
Thanks, bro.
No worries.
Straight after this.
We'll make it happen, bro.
No, it'd be
Definitely.
awesome.
Like, I just want to put it out there. This man just drove 4 hours. We said it at the start. This man just drove 4 hours and 15 minutes
Yeah.
for a 2-hour podcast.
And Tony just said he'll back the trailer and see you in half an hour.
Bro, this guy.
So Tony,
Tempted me, man.
Tony's the boat ramp master
Yeah.
for the Logan.
How long do you think we need out there? And how, like, it's 1 o'clock now.
Look,
What time can we
with-
have the boat in the water?
Can you
Look,
fish
we're-
left-handed?
Like, I got spin. I'd have to go home and get the rods. But
We're going to run it. We'll plan it another time.
look, just please.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
We could know.
But
let's
look,
plan it and
yeah.
we'll film a video, YouTube video of it.
yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yep, let's do it. Keen.
But yeah, like, we want to, look, to ensure that you have the greatest chance of getting threadies, I would like for it to be planned.
Yeah. No, let's
Like,
do
we
it.
could just shoot out now and I would hate for us to go out and you come back without a threadie.
Yeah, I've had a bit of
Yeah,
caffeine
man.
included. What was that thing called I drank?
Jake goes,
Kamikaze.
Mate,
Jake goes,
I'm
I was
scared
like, do you
I'm
want
gonna
anything?
crash hard.
I was like, do you want anything from the survey? He's like, yeah, get me something that's going to make me ping. And I was like, bro. So I got him a drink called the Breath of God.
Yeah, I am worried about crashing, so I better hit the road before we go.
No, guys, again, Jake, thank you very much for
worries,
bro. Appreciate
talking,
you.
Thanks for
chewing the
listening.
fat. with Azza and I.
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you very much. If you're watching the repeat on YouTube, thank you very much. If you're watching live, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the subs, the follows. Absolutely incredible. And remember, guys, once again, check out Empowerment Barra Sports Fishing. Jake Fairweather. I've been me, and that's Azza, and that's Jake. It's been a bloody good time. I'll see you guys round like a rissole.
Cheers, guys.
See you later. Bye. Yeah.